You can. You can.
You can.
You can.
You can be the winner of the $1 million guaranteed main event at Champions Club Texas this fall poker open. Are you game?
Play your hand, play your hand. No fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. And no fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. No fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags.
Good evening and welcome to Champions Poker Live from Champions Club in Houston, Texas. We are live today with the final table of the Mystery Bounty event. From a field of 662 players, we're down to the final 9. And here they are. Almost right in the middle there, you see Rockets Will. This is his second final table in 2 events. Played the Monster Stack. Then he played this one, final table, both of these events on 1 bullet. Second place in the Monster Stack. Let's see how he does tonight. Got pretty wide range of chip stacks here. Tran, Alanis, and one other player in 3 million territory, I thought. I guess not. Just the 2 of them above 3 million. The shortest stack is Sani in the 5 seat, but Sani comes into the final table with the most in bounties, 5,100 already earned. This was a bounty tournament. It's a random draw. When you knock somebody out, you get to pull a ball out of the thing. Biggest bounty was 15,000. That one's already won, but there's still a 10K bounty in the bucket. So lots of money possible out there. And first place in this event, $29,900. I'm here with Kyle Miller. How's it going, Kyle?
It is going great. Really looking forward to it. You know, we're both watching as this kind of played down from about 3 tables to this final 9.
Yeah, you've been here most of the day, snapping photos and watching the action.
But, yeah, seat 5, Sani, it was really fun watching him play. He's got a lot of energy, and I believe his girlfriend or wife is looking on as well.
So we have a raiser here, ace-8, and a caller, ace-9, and the board comes out 9-8-6. Both players hitting their kickers. Bellow in the lead here. Out of position, leads out into the raiser.
Yeah, and this type of board should favor the big blind as well. But Alanis obviously hitting his kicker. Always nice to connect. Wouldn't want to connect with an ace. And
oh boy,
we found one on the turn. So aces up for both players, but Bellow the better of it.
The fact that the board is kind of straightening could save Alanis some money, but man, it's just going to be tough to fold aces up.
Well, he's also just thinking, cool, if Bellow had 2 pair, now I have a better 2 pair.
Right. And it's just a blank on the river. Great news for Bellow. Bellow does have the shorter stack here, so Alanis is not going to go broke on this hand, but he could lose a big percentage of his stack. And that's a big bet, 550. Such a value size into that pot, 1.8 million in the middle already.
That's it, you're good. 550?
Yes, sir. 8 calls, 550.
God, man, look at that.
Definitely.
Person has somehow final tabled. Says he's had a lot of all-ins, but hasn't knocked anybody out yet. And he's done it all on 1 bullet, so that's pretty impressive. He's definitely going to make some money, but hard to make a final table in a bounty tournament without getting 1 bounty.
Yeah. But now he does have 3.6. He is one of the covering stacks, so he has the stack to be able to pull some bounties if he wins some flips here.
For sure, that's got to feel good. Alanis came into this final table just barely second in chips, just behind Tran in the 9 seat, and now he's down in the middle of the pack after that big hand. Speaking of our chip leader, he raises it up here in early position with King Jack, makes it 240 to go. Action folds around. Thompson giving it some thought with an ace, but she lets it go. Ace 7. And now all the way around to the blinds. And it looks like Tran's going to get a raise and take it here unless Anderson decides to defend with 7 tray. No.
Yeah, Tran
Down to the final 2 tables, I think 12-handed. The final 2 tables, I think 12-handed.
folds around. Continues to fold around. And Sasani looking down at 10s and the cutoff. Shortest stack on the table. Goes 160. 2 bigs. Anderson, small blind. King, queen off. It's also always interesting thinking about if these players have played with each other throughout this tournament or before. When we were down to 3 tables and 2 tables, Sasani was not on the table with Anderson, not on the table with the big blind, Alanis as well. Alanis does have a pretty aggressive style. A lot of people here in Houston know that. He's got a pretty looking hand as well, but not facing an open from the short stack and a 3-bet out of the small blind. Can't imagine him getting in the mix here as much as he loves this hand and would love to see a flop. He does come with it though. And this might just be a play at the bounty pull potentially on Sasani.
Yeah, Sasani coming into this with a relatively short stack here. He's going to leave himself a little behind. Just calling.
Big pot already brewing. Alanis barely over pot size behind as we catch 975 rainbow.
Great flop for 10s. I don't think either of these big stacks can fold to this tiny bet here with their overcards.
Overcards plus the bounty pull, and again we mentioned that a 10K pull is still in the mix, so the value of that. Are you going to fold to 1 big blind when there's so much in the middle,
right,
plus the chance that 10K pull?
Yeah, there's only 1 small bounty left. I believe there's 1 $300 bounty, a 10K, a couple of 2500s, and a few 1000s. So, you know, that call is worth at least $1,000 in these guys' head.
Goes check, check, river, and king gets there.
Anderson picking up a bounty.
Oh man, they had shared a claim too. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's going to eliminate Sasani here in 9th place. He will be taking home some money for that finish as well, obviously. Made the final table here. Everybody was guaranteed $27.90. That will go to Sasani. Now everybody ladders up about $1,000. $37.20 for 8th place.
King Jack. River was king.
Better do it on live.
Sure.
This is live?
Anderson will be able to pull a bounty.
River king, man.
Go ahead and pull that last 300.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. That last one out of the way.
Thank you. Yeah. River.
Anyway, you hold these. Can I just turn this off?
Want to say hi to everybody who's watching live in chat. Let us know who you're rooting for, who you're sweating. Be sure to hit that thumbs up for us. Give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already done so.
Only you. Where's my boss at? Hey, boss, should I do that now or should I wait?
So on the bounty tournament, the players have the choice to pull that bounty anytime after they've earned it. So they don't. He doesn't have to pull it right now, but he has the right to at any time. I would say when there's only 8 bounties in there and one of them's 10,000, I'd pull it right away. That's just me.
Yeah, you've got some good odds at this point.
$550.
Thompson opening this one with King 8 suited. Small blind, Alans. Repopping, 550.
Oh, my bad.
Or 545, it looks like.
Easy fold for Tran.
When do you make it?
And this is really targeting her entire stack. She does call. It's pretty committed at this point.
What's that?
450.
2 of the shortest stacks
What is it? 5 what?
going at it right here.
550.
But as you said, Alanis has Thompson covered, trying to go for this pull.
But a lot of change.
And she flops a spade draw. Playing high card still, ace high in the lead.
Oh, excuse me. Shit.
I check.
Yeah, and she might just be able to take this down without making the flush here. The all-in is a lot of Alanis' chips. He doesn't make the call with the ace high, though.
Too much in there to fold is what he's thinking. She does turn a pair.
Oh, yeah, now way out in front. She was just ahead on the flip before. Now 91% favorite.
And she will hold.
And now she's right up there with the average stacks. Almost 2 million.
All about winning your flips here. Look at the chips there. Chips in play currently, the 5K, the pink chips, the 25K, the green chips, and kind of the pearly white and blue, the 100Ks. No plaques yet on the table.
And in case you don't know what a milestone satellite is, we're running a bunch of those as ways to get into the main event. We have one tomorrow at 7 p.m. Kind of like a regular mega satellite, but instead of playing down to a certain number of players, you play until you have a certain number of chips. As soon as you have that number of chips, which I believe is 200,000 in this case, you just automatically win a seat and you're done with the tournament. You get to go home.
Bellow in the hijack. An offsuit ace queen and reaching for chips. He did raise to 180 here. A little over the min open. And he's just going to collect the blinds and ante there. You can see Mario Mendoza in seat 2, rocking the Adidas hoodie. Another local Houston player. It's going to be his big blind right now. See if anybody has anything worth attacking that big blind with. Folds to Tran's button. Suit connector. He opens big, 210. Has the stack to do it with, only has to get through 2 players, and does. Definitely knows what he's doing, knows how to play that table captain position. As we approach the final table bubble, he did double up Thompson. Wasn't afraid to play hands and get it in. Did collect some bounties during that phase as well, as you would hope when you've got the chip lead. Now 6s under the gun.
160.
Goes 160.
Folds all the way around to Thompson in the big blind. She's got a suited queen 9. Looks like she's going to defend.
Set of 6s for Leffingwell.
Gut shot and backdoor spades for Thompson.
He's going to continue hoping that she defended with a suited king. We can see it's the suited queen.
Lays it down. Leffingwell picking up a nice pot there.
It'll be interesting to see if we can catch Will on more final tables throughout this series. He's 2 for 2 so far on stream final tables through this Fall Poker Open.
Yeah, and two bullets only.
Yeah.
Pretty strong from Rocket's Will. Bracelet winner last year. Hosts our Pot Limit Omaha stream almost every week here at Champions Club. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can see Rocket's Will playing the 4-card game.
Yeah, definitely prefers more than 2 cards dealt to him, but obviously doing very good within some 2-card tournaments. King Jack, suited under the gun.
Opening it up, 160. Blinds currently at 40 and 80,000. Those are going to be going up really quickly here, and we'll be coloring off the 5K chips at that time. Anybody who plays tournament poker regularly knows that those color up moments are usually sort of inflection points in the tournaments. The chips get bigger, the stacks get smaller physically. So there's some sort of mental difference in having a bunch of little chips in your stack or a few big chips in your stack. Folds all the way around to the big blind. Leffingwell will defend with queen 9. Bellow out in front, Andy in position, picks up top pair. Best hand gets better.
Always feels nice when you're c-betting to actually have made a pair.
Right. Yeah, especially with all the GTO play now. You know, you're c-betting your range. You're supposed to have hit your range. It's nice when you actually hit your range.
Yeah.
But it'll be a bet and take it for Bellow.
Yeah, I can feel it too.
And the rich get richer. Bellow just shy of the chip lead now. Only one of 2 players above 4 million in chips.
Oh, it does.
Really?
Yeah. You don't hear that? Arctic blast?
Yeah, I feel it on the leg.
Just wait. Every person that leaves, it gets colder.
Will has definitely more experience at this table than anybody else playing here every week. This under these lights, and as they were just talking about the AC, brand new AC unit this year, it's either freezing cold or way too hot under these lights. There's no in between. I did try to adjust it a little bit for him, but when it's blowing on you, it's blowing on you. Soleimani opening this one to 200,000 with a suited ace and the hijack. Mendoza right behind him, though, with ace-queen. And he's got more chips as well. I haven't played a whole lot of these bounty tournaments, but I assume you want to try to isolate the players that have fewer chips than you.
Always a good strategy.
Right.
And going pretty big here. Looks like 550 or 650. 650. And that is a big chunk of anybody's stack at this table. It folds back around to Soleimani. And he's going to give it up. Mendoza's been on this final table before. He's got 3 reported final tables, including 1 win here in Houston. 21K
Uh-oh, here we go.
total in earnings.
Hurry
His
up,
best
let's
cash
get
only
voices down.
5,800 though. He's got a good shot of besting that today, especially considering he's already collected 3,100 in bounties.
Last 300.
Anderson going for the bounty that he won here.
Exit down.
Will it be the 10K?
25.
No. 2,500 though.
That's a pretty good pull.
Nice. That's like,
Yeah.
we're only guaranteed 37 right now.
He was at 38 before that, so that's going to put him up over 6K in bounties. Nicely done.
I thought you were giving me the 10 grand.
And Anderson was actually one of the short stacks
Does everybody fight for this balance?
when we're approaching this final table bubble, so
This is my big over here.
he's definitely spun it up. Now Alanis trying to spin under the gun. He's looking at suited gapper, knows he has to post big blind next hand. He's going to go with this one. Tran has just called suited king jack. Now suited ace 10 in the cutoff for Thompson. Don't mind just call here. In a different format, it might be different. She ships it.
Decides to jam and isolate.
That's 2,500. What else do you want?
Don't hate this at all either.
I know what I want. I want the dealer to be good.
I think different format. The ace 10 sometimes finds the muck, but
This is the decision I want.
she's going to be happy to try to ISO here and really see if Tran has a hand or if he was just trying to see the flop up against Alanis.
Yeah, it's very interesting with the bounty format too. You were saying you might just find the muck with the ace-10, but if it was a normal final table, you might just call there too and try to eliminate the shorter stack and everybody moves up a notch. But with that 10K bounty in there, everybody's trying to knock this guy out and be the one to do it.
Tran, understandably in a spot here. Got to do some math. If he calls and knocks out both players, what is that worth? What is his chip stack? If he calls and is wrong, what is his chip stack? What is Thompson's or Alanis's?
I'm seeing the meme with all the numbers floating behind.
Yeah. If he calls and is wrong, he definitely still has chips to work with, but
Double doozy?
gonna take the conservative route there and respect
come on,
her
dude.
jam over the top.
Yeah, you don't have her beat.
And he'll see that she had the best of it, but he would have had 2 live cards.
Come on,
and would've-
dealer.
7. All right. 6-4. You had 6-4 beat?
You knew what I was doing. I had to do that. I was fixing to be big blind.
Queen deuce.
I had queen deuce as well.
Did you really?
Yeah.
There's my deuce on my head.
Oh, man, we would have won. Maybe.
King Jack would have been in decent shape. Thompson glad she isolated now.
Oh, not clubs.
Not clubs versus a gut shot.
But he picks up a 3.
She needs the club.
Oh, she needs nothing.
Ace high will do the job.
I could have got the triple. I could have got the double doozy.
Now Thompson will pick up
If you wouldn't have been in
another
that
bounty.
hand, she might have just
But
won.
unfortunately for Arnold Alanis, this will be the end for the insurance agency owner from Rosenberg, Texas.
Get your pinks ready.
He only collected 1 bounty, made himself the final table though, picks up 37-20.
Oh man, I want to win 200K.
Did you know my friend won a seat into that tournament?
Really?
Yeah, he played a satellite and he won a seat into the main.
Oh, really?
Really, it only cost him $200.
It's true. You could turn 200 into 200,000 at the Fall Poker Open this October.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, you can really turn that $200 into $200,000. From October 16th through the 28th, come on down to Champions Club Texas Fall Poker Open. For more details, use QR code and link.
Play your hand, player.
I'm all in.
Play your hand, play your hand. No buck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. And no buck, counting.
1 player down. We're down to 7 now. Looks like we're going to race off those 5K chips. Blinds will be going up to 50 and 100,000.
I had pocket threes the last time.
Putting a little more pressure on those shorter stacks.
Probably got one. Oh, 4 not gonna work. Ace, king, ace.
Assistant Tournament Director Dave Phelps running the final table here, always doing a great job. In this tournament. What a great run for David Mazalov, though, taking second place.
Oh man, I want to win 200K.
Did you know my friend won a seat into that tournament?
Really?
Yeah, he played a satellite and he won a seat into the main.
Oh, really?
Really, it only cost him $200.
It's true. You could turn 200 into 200,000 at the Fall Poker Open this October.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, you can really turn that $200 into $200,000. From October 16th through the 28th, come on down to Champions Club Texas Fall Poker Open. For more details, use QR code and link.
Play your hand, player.
I'm all in.
Play your hand, play your hand. No buck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. And no buck, counting.
We definitely have a 1 million guarantee coming up, in case you didn't know. October. What is day 1? That's Wednesday, right? I'm looking.
Correct. Wednesday, the 23rd. Coming up quick.
Plenty of ways to get in, though. We have satellites going every day, 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. We've got the Turbo Mega satellites. We also have Milestone satellites going on. Next one of those is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Lots of ways to get in there. And it looks like lots of ways to get chips in the middle in this hand. Soleimani opening with kings and Mendoza waking up with jacks right behind him. 3-betting to 750. Good chance the chips are going in the middle once it gets back around to Soleimani. We see 1 king going to the muck. But king's obviously in front here. Gets it all in and a quick call from Mendoza. And here we go.
Johnny's. Kings. What? Sickening.
Nearly 3.1
Thought he was just picking on you the whole time.
is the size of the pot now.
Oh my God, he was picking on
Good
you.
spot for Soleimani.
Oh my God.
Comes ace high. Doesn't matter. Diamonds are covered by the kings.
I don't answer that question.
You don't answer that question? Okay, give me the jack, please.
Johnny on the spot.
Just needs to fade that jack on the river, and he does.
1-4-25.
Jack without a dick.
And a well-timed double up for Soleimani.
Right timing.
Right before he goes into the big blind.
A dangerous guy with a chip stack.
Button straddle.
And now he has something to work with.
You got it.
Thompson doing her pull.
Let's go 10K.
We got it together. Oh my gosh.
Quit it. I don't see any numbers.
I do. I see it. I see it right now.
Oh no, she found the final $300 pull. Well,
Right,
now
guys,
everybody
there's only
knows there are at
300.
least 1,000 in there henceforth.
Now I was gonna just like.
Yeah, you should have asked my wife which one. I'm telling you.
She's been running kind of bad on these. She's got 3 bounties. This is now 4 bounties for a total of $900.
That's rough.
Gross. But she's still in a tournament where she could make $29,900, so it's not all bad. Leffingwell opening this one with ace-jack suited, makes it 2 1/4 from the hijack. Folds around to the big blind. Soleimani, who just picked up a bunch of chips, looking at a suited ace of his own, but he is behind here. Somebody's mic must be inside their jacket or something. It's making a ton of noise. I don't know if it's going to Don't sweat it, as long as you guys know.
One raises to 650.
And Soleimani does raise the suited ace. Leffingwell as the effective stack, Soleimani covering.
Yeah, don't think Will's going to go anywhere here. It's a question of whether or not you want to jam and put yourself at risk or take a flop in position with ace-jack.
Things to consider in spots like these. You already mentioned the position. So if you have fold equity, are they committing themselves? Are they going to call off super wide here? Are there other short stacks on the table?
Oh, tight laydown from Leffingwell.
And then, yeah, if you do make the fold there, can you wait for a better spot?
I had 2 good cards. I mean, I have a pair. I learned it from him, though, free betting.
Yeah. You don't answer the question. You said it.
Hey, quit teaching.
Yeah, stop teaching me, Mario.
we had him until you started teaching.
Yeah.
I don't know how good your pair was, though. That's the thing.
I don't know, Karen. I was just wondering if you did. Might have made a bad fool.
4s now for Leffingwell. 225. Suited ace wheel right behind.
And the current chip leader with that suited ace wheel, he can put pressure on if he wants to.
Just calls. It's got quite a few people to still get through. And looks like they are getting through. But suited king queen in the big blind.
Same suit, and Mendoza has the shortest stack at the table at this moment.
Just comes with defense. Gonna see if he connects here.
Ace-5 takes the lead. And action checks to Bellow. He's going to fire out a small bet, 275. Oh, and it's a check raise all in for Mendoza? No, call. I misheard him. I thought he said all in. He said call. That's an interesting call with the 2 overcards and so few chips in his stack.
Yeah, it looks really strong, but unlikely that he has a jack in the hole. Jack pairs itself on the turn. Goes check, check pretty quick.
Oh, and Rockets would have rivered a full house here, but Bellow's ace-5 is going to remain the best hand. He's going to take most of Mendoza's stack with that. Mendoza now down to 6 big blinds.
Upstairs doing the play-by-play.
Luckily for him, he just got through the big blind. He's in the small now, but he's going to have to make something happen this orbit.
Yeah, it's a really tough spot too, where it's left with 6 bigs. You're going to get multiple callers.
Yeah, for sure, in a bounty situation, and the average stack being close to 30 big blinds.
It's nice in a weird way if you can hold, but hard to do multi-way. And Anderson looking down at a premium now.
No, I thought you said all that.
Oh.
Suited ace queen.
When you said call, I would have probably called.
I was thinking to go all in. You wanna fold all in?
Pre-flop? Yeah, I would have. I should have just jammed pre.
Interesting on the table talk there. Leffingwell saying he heard all in as well, and that's why he folded the 4s. I don't know if he's calling with the 4s anyway, but he might have, being priced in there and closing the action. Would have been interesting to see how it played out had there been 3 players making it to the turn. This hand, however, it's a raise and take it for Anderson. Fall Poker Open, Turbo Super Satellites, every day through Friday, 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. Come on down and win your seat into the main event. That's a 135 buy-in. You can turn 135 into 200,000. Come on down. That's just an estimate, by the way. First place might be more or less than 200,000, but last time it was at 220, I believe. Last time we did a 1 million guarantee. Let's be right up that in that neighborhood. The ace-jack of diamonds has found its way to Bellow. Under the gun, he opens to 225.
Choctaw nuts in the small blind. Gonna find the muck.
And Bellow, the chip leader by a wide margin, is going to raise and take it. The rich get richer.
Shows it quickly to the table.
The have you beat earlier? Hand you 3-bet?
That was good.
Ace jack of diamonds was good?
Yeah. It's a jack.
Huh?
It's a jack.
Maybe. I don't know. 20.
Will still thinking about that hand earlier, laying down the ace-jack.
I would be too. I probably would have made the same laydown. I don't know. Maybe not. I might have called. I'm pretty bad at poker. I think calling was probably the worst of the 3 options.
Tran, first in for 250. 6-4 of diamonds.
Doing big stack stuff from early position. Putting pressure on getting bad aces to fold. But not all of the bad aces. Bellow getting in there. dominating with ace-6.
What's up, bro? How you been?
All baby cards. 7 high, 2-tone.
Got shot for Tran.
This could be a board that big blind could check raise, but given that these are 2 of the larger stacks on the table, typically don't want to tango too big. Tran usually not supposed to connect with this board unless it's some flush draw or overpair. And Bellow does get out of the way.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic there when the board is supposed to hit your opponent's range, but it actually hits the cards you have.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, you're probably supposed to just check that back if you're the pre-flop aggressor, but when it hits your actual cards so hard, might as well c-bet and you can handle a call or even a raise in that spot.
Yeah, and then you're showing up with stuff that you're not supposed to, which is nice.
Mendoza with ace-10 and a very short stack is going to get it in there now. 550. And Rockets will with ace-6 of hearts on the button, raising, trying to isolate. Unfortunately for him, he's behind here. So Rockets will does have more chips. He won't be at risk here, but he is behind. Mendoza in good shape to double up. The ace-10, a dominant favorite here at about 70%.
6 is not a good number. 5 of hearts.
No.
Make it a sweat. Make it a sweat.
Put a 10 of the spades.
That wouldn't be a sweat. That'd be
I'm gonna say. All right.
Ooh, a little sweat.
Well, there's a sweat.
Yeah, me too. I'll take
More
a
outs for Leffingwell now. Needs a 5 or a 6 to win it. Mendoza just needs to fade those cards.
All right.
Ace will do the trick. Double up for Mendoza, and now he's still the shortest, or not quite the shortest stack, but still one of the shorter stacks at the table. Leffingwell now moving down. They basically flip spots.
Yeah. On the river.
Oh, we should get a call though.
No.
In the same spot.
Never that. Never that.
And thankfully for Will, he's already gone through the blinds, so he'll have a couple hands to evaluate and pick through what he wants to go with.
Rockets Will having a good week, though. He's already got 1,500 in bounties. He won a Rolex. 121K in the monster stack. I wouldn't mind having a week like that.
Seven chips to work with, and he puts 2 of them in. It's going to look pretty strong. And this looks pretty strong as well. Suited ace jack.
7 total.
He's going to ask for all of it. Or just see the flop.
Interesting. Tran with a really nice hand here, but as you said, Leffingwell's just raised there instead of going all in. Looked way stronger than it is. And Leffingwell takes the lead here. Hit flops bottom pair And now has a really good shot to double. Tran making the call with the overs. Will with backdoor hearts as well. A big favorite here to double up. Until that card comes out. Will needing a 3 or a 6 now. And he's not going to get it.
Good luck, everybody.
Still a nice run for Rockets Will. You'll be seeing him Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central for another PLO with the Stallions. Today, he'll be taking home $46.70 plus his bounties. He won $1,500 in bounties as well. And then there were 6.
Everybody now locking up over 5.6 plus all the bounties they've already secured.
Speaking of, it means James Tran has a shot of that 10K bounty now, having knocked out Will Leffingwell.
Thank you.
Ace 10 under the gun for Mendoza.
Gets them all in for 1.3.
So 1.2.
1.25.
Tran asking for a count.
Not sure if he's peeled his cards back yet. Some players do elect to get the amount before looking at their hands. I would say that's still a minority of players, but
No double up.
Almost,
I help you out.
Oh, man, that's
Raise and take it for the short stack. Free round.
You don't have that, the reach, get richer, you can call. You too.
What are the big ones left? 10K?
Oh, wow, thank you.
9-4 under the gun. Pretty sure Thompson's not even at the... Oh, she is at the table. She sees that she has a foldable hand, and Bellow does not. Jacks for our chip leader. Bellow and Tran very close in chips now. Goes 275. And no flop. Good shot of Bellow there. I'd say out of the remaining players, Bellow definitely the most dripped out. Got some nice shoes on. All the jewelry. Look at the watch. Designer shirt. Chip lead. No bounties. Raises. Ace X.
Folds around to the button. Soleimani looking down at King 9 suited. Not a bad hand, especially six-handed.
Yeah, if the King 9 suited is going to be good enough for a big blind defense, I think it's good enough for a call on the button. And talk about big blind defense. How about big blind aggression with the aces?
Right.
Thompson is one of the shorter stacks at the table as well. Only Mendoza with fewer chips. I like this. Don't want to just jam it in there. Want to get value. Make hands like King 9 suited, call on the button. She could be doing this with a number of pocket pairs, not just aces. Could it be ace king? Soleimani does find the call. And just top set for Thompson. Nice pickup there for Thompson. More than just a free orbit taking down that pot. A lot of times you're really just going to find a bunch of raise and take, no flop. You're completely content with that. You're not bleeding chips as each orbit costs you 250K right now. Soleimani taking his time in the cutoff here, mystery hand. Tran did open to 275, so this is, looks like 725 as a 3-bet. It is. Action back on the offsuit King 10. Out of position. Next hand. Posture a little bit. We'll never know. I don't assume Soleimani was light there. We'll say that.
Seven, 4 of spades in the hijack for Soleimani. Obviously, you got to raise with this if you're playing in a cash game.
Dan's favorite hand about to be in the muck. Or maybe that's what he raised with in 3-bet last hand. Well, I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, if you get it back to back, obviously you have to raise. And
okay.
He does.
I know who you're rooting for the rest of the final table.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. A fair fight. 7-4 suited versus ace-king suited. Mendoza hasn't been raising small ever since he's been the shortest stack. He's pretty much gotten them all in every time he's had something. I think it would make it look much stronger if he just raised to 500,000 or something here. But he's going to go all in. Big stack looking down at King Jack. Gave it some thought there. Potential to eliminate a short stack, but he decides to get out of the way with the raise behind from Soleimani. And I don't think Soleimani is going to call off a third of his stack with the 7 high, even though it would have won for sure.
Most definitely.
You know, you always lie. Yeah, maybe this is the only way to make you fall. I was thinking, what I do, raise, your raise, you raise.
Jack deuce again for Thompson.
So you're saying that you raise with crap?
10-9 offsuit. And an attempt to steal.
You should start. You can afford it.
225 from Bellow. And I really like this move. Tran recognizing that Bellow's going to be opening anything on the button, really. The chip lead. There should be no incentive for Tran to play back at the chip leader. They do have the 2 biggest stacks on the table, so if he is playing back at him, he's got to be 3-betting with something.
I got a question. There's 7 balls in there. Are you sure that $300 one is more?
But we're going to see a flop here.
Wow.
10-9 versus 9-6 and a 9 on the flop. How about that?
Bad news for Tran.
Yeah, he's repping not this board and does connect. Continues. He's telling a story that he likes a 9 high flop, not because he paired it, but could have an overpair here.
Yeah, but you never know. It's about
Wow.
He can pull the 10,000. You know.
Throw everything you know about poker out of the window.
The big stacks going at it in the bounty tournament.
Raised to 975 on the flop. 10-9. Tran thinking he may have got lucky here, but alarm bell's going off now, more than likely. We have nearly 3.2 in the middle. That's larger than any other stack on the table.
And now open-ended for both players. One on the top, one on the bottom. We could see these stacks getting in the middle, and they're so close together.
You can see the breathing there through the Kirkland hoodie.
Speaking of drip.
Got that Costco drip. Huge pot. Nearly 5 million going into the turn in.
Oh my God. 2 pairs versus the straight. I don't know how Tran can get away from this now the way this is played. I mean, a 4-liner on board is how you can get away from it, but what an interesting hand. How did this even happen?
There's just under 20 million chips in play. Most of them are in this pot right now.
Getting such a price to call with 2 pairs, but what kind of bluff could anybody have here? There's just zero bluff, right?
For Tran's tournament life. 6.67 in the middle. Does make the laydown.
Finds the muck. What a strange and beautiful hand for Bellow. Now, with a third of the chips in play, a little bit more than that. Amazing.
You can. You can. You can. You can.
You can be the winner of the $1 million guaranteed main event at Champions Club Texas this fall poker open. Are you game?
$1 million guaranteed main event coming up. First flight is Wednesday. We're going to have multiple flights on that. $1,500 buy-in, $1 million guaranteed in the prize pool, but there are plenty of ways to win your seat into that event, including our milestone satellites and our turbo mega satellites. Multiple opportunities this week to do that. 10 p.m. tonight, already over with. 10 a.m. tomorrow, though. 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. every day through Friday for those turbo megas. Milestone satellites, multiple opportunities for that. The next one will be tomorrow at 7 p.m.
So we mentioned as this final table started that Chris Bellow, who just took down that large pot, is now our sizable chip leader, has not pulled a bounty yet during this tournament. In a very good spot to do so, though.
Wow.
Big blind gets a walk.
Well, if he's going to win the $29,000, he has to win at least one bounty. That's just how it works.
Yep. If you're only going to pull one, might as well be heads up.
Yeah, but
I guess it's really two. You've got to. Are you knocking out yourself as well at the end?
That's a good question.
Different tournaments have different structures on that, so.
I imagine so, because there's a bounty for each. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe there's one less bounty than there is players.
Right.
I'll have to ask the tournament director how we structured that. I believe there's a bounty for each player, and you get your own bounty.
I believe that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I believe that's how we do it as well. 300 from Bellow.
Yeah, and Bellow with all those chips now can pretty much open from any position. If he wants to start applying pressure, he can afford to lose an opening raise every hand for a while. And typically when it gets short like this, that's the way the big stack should operate. Keep the pressure on, keep the other stacks low, keep them fighting.
Yeah, I think all the other players are going to be surprised to watch back and see the whole cards of that
both of those players.
6 million chip pot.
Bellow opening again, suited one gapper. Blinds are up now. 75, 125, so pretty expensive every orbit.
Just call from the 10s.
Interesting.
Such a good price for the ace-9 to come in.
Yeah. Well, Tran in position and with the best of it, going three ways into the flop here. Only one overcard out there, which is good news for him. It looks like the flop didn't read on the graphics. We'll have to get a shot of that, see what happened here.
It does check on over to the 10s, and 10s are the overpair on all diamond board. Thompson, the only player with a diamond.
It checked to Tran. He did bet something. Looks like it was 2 1/4. Thompson making the call. Front door diamonds, back door straight opportunities for her. Bellow did pair here. He makes the call as well. All three players go into the turn. Oh, 777s now for Bellow.
I was going to say speculative call by Bellow with that pair, but works out. Might not want to slow play it.
Yeah, this is a strange spot now for Tran with the overpair. If Bellow bets out, as it appears he's going to, he goes big. 775 is most of Tran's chips. And it's going to be hard for Thompson to call with just the 9 of diamonds now. So if she gets out of the way, Tran is virtually drawing dead here. Has to catch one of the two remaining 10s. And almost all of his chips in the middle.
And I think he's not folding unless it's a diamond river. It is not. He's just never folding this spot.
Yeah, you can't. And another elimination, and now Bellow's first bounty of the tournament gets down to 5 players. He wins his first bounty and now has almost half of the chips in play.
What?
I don't think Tran has pulled his last bounty yet from the his previous elimination.
First one. Wow.
So I imagine he'll be doing that now. He'll also be taking home $5,600 5,630 for 6th place finish. And Tran also had 1,900 in bounties. He's going to be pulling one more here. What a wild orbit for Tran. Playing back with the 9-6 and just calling with the 10s. And now pulling.
I'm getting tired of it.
No, it's okay. You go home.
What was it? Oh, there was
300.
another 300. I thought that was the last one before. Oh, gross. That 10K is still in there with only 5 players remaining. There was a $15,000 bounty. That one was pulled when there was about 3 tables left by Fo Vu. He got the big one.
It was pretty funny when that got pulled and word started to get out that it was him that pulled it. It's just one of the guys that doesn't need it, but always runs so good. So, of course, he pulls it.
Yeah, I heard he barely reacted, too.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, well, 15K, who cares?
All in from Mendoza. Ace wheel on the button.
4, 5.
Jamming into the chip lead. Nearly half the chips in play. All in front of Bellow. This is again one of those weird spots with mystery bounty. 10K is still in play. You're almost putting this call in with any 2, but does elect to fold, find a better spot, and retain that monster chip lead.
Blind versus blind. Bellow picking up an open ender. Anderson in the lead here with king high, but it's going to be tough for him to continue if Bellow fires at this.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bellow make that adjustment. Know that he has the stack to work and put pressure on the rest of this table.
It's hard to make a pair or hit a flop, especially in Hold'em. Anderson will call with the overcards, though, and the gut shot. Now the board is a 4-liner.
Especially in Texas, I think this is an underplayed and understudied spot, blind on blind. We're so used to multi-way. Checks through on the turn and likely going to check through here.
I like this. Bellow's going to take a stab.
The ace is good to represent, but again, just blind on blind. It's a interesting line. It is going to work, though. Even that little turn pro probably would have taken it down as well.
Yeah, just keeping that pressure on. It's going to work out so good for him.
Dave Phelps, tournament director, asking to color up some of those 25K chips. It'll make it easier both on Bellow and the dealer.
Some players love to have a mountain of chips in front of them. Some players like to have the big stack of whatever the biggest value chip is. It's either way is obviously intimidating, but I kind of like, if you've got a whole barrel of whatever the biggest chip is when nobody else has a full barrel, I feel like that's way more intimidating to me.
I definitely like the big chips, but I also like stacking.
Yeah. Well, I love to have a pyramid of chips in front of me, but some players are not as good at handling them. Bellow with a ace wheel on the button here, applying pressure again, raising to 275. Everybody's sharing cards here. Ace 4, ace 7, and 7-4, obviously the best hand, most connected hand.
It's one way of looking at your favorite hand. Three players to the flop. Comes out 5 deuce deuce. 2 diamonds on board. Anderson with the dry ace of diamonds. Bellow does have that gut shot to the wheel and is reaching for chips in position.
Pretty good flop for the ace 4. Tied in equity with ace 7. Just continuing to apply pressure.
I mean, you're in a hand with a guy that has basically your chip stack about to be colored up.
Right. He can bet a quarter of your stack as a feeler and then not feel it when he loses. So a million plaques coming into play now.
2 plaques on the felt, both in front of Bellow, of course. Again, just those 2 plaques alone, pretty much the entire stack of the other players individually. Nine-5 cutoff. Finds a foldable hand. Looks like he might just need to take a little break, adjust to what's happening.
I think I work. Oops, no work.
6 deuce in the small blind. Limps in there. 9s for the short stack.
Check, raise.
Raised, not all in.
Might be the first time he's done that since he got short. So that feels very strong. Soleimani without much to defend with anyway, gets out of the way.
Yeah, one of those spots where both an all-in and a raise basically doing the same job and getting the fold. Reminder of our milestone satellites going on. 3 seats guaranteed to our $1 million main event.
Say what?
Yeah, win your way in. Don't have to put up the $1,500 buy-in if you just win a nice little satellite or 2. All of these players playing for 29.9 up top. If you win your way into the main event, you're going to be playing for just over 200,000 up top.
Yeah, pretty excited for that. We'll be streaming the final table of the main event as well. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we start that. Got some big cash streams coming up next week as well, starting Tuesday with PLO with the Stallions, and then special big limit, no limit hold'em streams Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time, featuring World Series of Poker main event champion Jonathan Tamayo coming back to Champions to play some cash, among others. Should be a super fun week.
Suited 6-9 for Soleimani. He is second in chips, but very close with Thompson and Anderson there. And Mendoza really not that far behind. Ace Jack for the big blind. Looked like he was just going to call, but then grabs another stack of chips. Soleimani not going to get out of line here. Always good seeing AC in the chat. Also some quick shout outs to chat star Pkwy Cole, one of our regulars in the chat. Time Traveler Poker as well. Always good seeing you. AC saying it's rooting for Chris, Amir, and Super Mario.
That's smart. If you pick a lot of people and one of them wins, then you'd be like, I knew it.
Yeah, you've got good odds when you're covering 3/5 of the table. Amir has sixes under the gun. Raises 275. Ace wheel in the cutoff. Looks like Mendoza was thinking about making a move there. Decides not to. Obviously those little ace wheels love to be the aggressor, not taking passive lines. We still have the chip leader left to act. It's going to tighten up some players depending on their holdings. He's out of the way though.
I like that too. If the pressure's already being applied, then you can take a little break and count your giant chip stack. Over half the chips in play now in Bellow's stack. There's just over 19 million in play. He's got 10.8 of them.
3 players to the flop. Comes out ace, queen, deuce, rainbow. No player connects. So the sixes still with the lead.
And being the pre-flop aggressor, he can represent having the ace or queen in his range. So small c-bet of 175 might just get the job done. And it does. Great poker play there.
Yeah, a lot of people do shut down and can't find that c-bet, but often it will work. And if it doesn't, cool, you know where you're at. and reevaluate on the turn.
Yeah, and he set a really small price for himself there. If he gets raised, it's easy to get away from sixes. And if he doesn't get raised, well, then you reevaluate. Maybe you hit your set, or you have the result he had. Everybody folds around. You pick up a nice big pot for a very small investment.
Mendoza and Thompson out of the way. 2 cards dealt to Bellow. $275 the asking price. And no one will defend. Understandable, seeing the whole cards.
That's got to feel good for Bellow, too, though. He didn't have much of a hand, and every time he applies pressure and gets a pot, it's going to make him feel a little bit more confident to keep doing that, which, in theory, will shorten the tournament for him and give him a better chance to win it.
Yeah. Picking up all these smaller pots is going to really matter also when he does have to call off against the short stacks. Make it hurt less if he does lose 1 or 2 of those flips.
Thompson opening under the gun here with suited king. About to be in the big blind, decides that she wants to try to pick up the blinds right now, get a free orbit, and so far so good. Folds around to Mendoza. He's got the Robbie. He gets out of the way as well.
Yeah.
And a free round of poker for Thompson.
Yeah, and really good adjustment by Thompson, recognizing short-handed, not full ring. Suited king is pretty strong.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, she's in the worst position in the table, having to be in front of the biggest stack. But in some ways, if she can put that raise in first, if Bellow doesn't really have anything, he doesn't have to apply that pressure. So she has a shot of taking that initiative from him in her position.
4s now buried for Soleimani. Folds to him. Doesn't have the pressure of Bellow in this hand. I like this. Choosing a larger opening sizing than normal. Usually the best outcome for pocket 4s.
Gets it done. I hear some beeping in the background. That usually means the blinds are about to go up, but it might be for a different tournament. I think there's 3 tournaments going on in the room right now.
Yeah, no shortage of action. We've mentioned some of those satellites going on. One of those satellites going on right now. Turbo Super Satty to the main.
And don't forget, we have a bunch of other events going on as well. Tomorrow we got a 1-day No Limit Hold'em tournament starting at noon, and at, I believe it's 5 o'clock, we have a horse tournament. It might be 7 o'clock. Take a look at that, but horse, always one of my favorites. 500 buy-in, 15K guarantee tomorrow.
That will be a 5 p.m. start
5
time.
p.m., yeah. 7 p.m. is Milestone Satellite, and then at 10 p.m. we've got the Turbo Mega Satellite. So all kinds of great action tomorrow and every day until the end of this series.
Anderson opening under the gun. Offsuit ace-queen dominating the queen 4, defending in the big blind.
This would be a decent flop for Bellow to lead out on, being in the blinds here, but he checks it, and Anderson's going to c-bet pretty big. Half pot, 425, and take it down. Good play by Anderson. Did have the best hand, but still a brave, large c-bet sizing there.
Yeah, quickly reached for that C bet. And Bellow still over half the chips in play.
No comment.
Seven's under the gun now for Soleimani.
One raise 325.
Waking up with a lot of small and middling pocket pairs is Soleimani. That's kind of a tough spot to be in sometimes, but five-handed, almost any pair is good to start. Unfortunately for him, nines slightly better than sevens, and Thompson all in.
Yeah, I think Soleimani is still going to put this into a raise fold category.
Yeah, it's a flip at best.
I think he's going to still get the count, take his time thinking through it. Soleimani, a very solid player here, but very disciplined as well. He is the covering stack, though. That might factor into some of that decision making. 10K bounty still in play.
Yeah, and only 5 balls in there. That's a good shot. And I think most of the other ones are 2,500 at this point.
Yeah, so still tons of value for taking a flip, but I think he is going to get off of this one. Almost looked like he was putting that folding formation.
Gets out of the way. And a nice pickup there for Thompson.
And again, just so much discipline there. I think so many of us are calling in that spot, kind of leveling into, she could be doing this, any suited ace-x, worse pocket pairs even. But sevens is just right on that threshold.
That 10K bounty being in there definitely skews the ICM of this, you know. It's very interesting to have to try to do that kind of math in your head on those flip spots, or potentially flip spots.
Folding around here into the blinds. King 4 for the small blind.
Just jams it all in. King high, can't blame him there.
Bucket deuces, bucket.
You know Mendoza is going to do the same with many, many hands. In fact, if he just called, probably would have faced the all-in. It's harder to call than it is to raise. Nicely played by Soleimani.
I'm good with that. I don't think our chip leader's good with that.
With what?
I said it looks like we could shop right now for, and each take home 15,000. I don't think our chip leader's gonna go for that though.
That's the first mention we've had of chop. I'm not sure what the rules are on the bounty attorney. If they would just chop up the bounties or how that would work.
You've mentioned these middling pocket pairs for Soleimani. They are getting upgraded slightly. 4s, 7s, 9s.
Jams it all in here after Bellow opened from under the gun.
Yeah, and again, this is just recognition that Bellow should be opening any 2 cards. Soleimani could be running into it right now, but more than likely not.
What is it?
2,700,000.
And Bellow likely to let go of this one, but he wants to get the count as well. Just a little too far apart, the Queen 9.
Yeah, and Soleimani starting to separate himself from the other players here, creating some separation and
well, 3 on the board is coming.
trying to close the gap between him and Bellow, but obviously that's quite an effort and undertaking to do. Bellow still half the chips in play. Ace 3, first to act. Pot size open.
Bellow looking like he wants to defend here with the 10-8. It will be 2 live cards, and he does put the chips out there. Ace high board. Good news for Anderson. Best hand gets better. And he's been chipping away at the chip leader a little bit these last couple of orbits.
And again, quickly reaching for chips. Likely going to see large sizing as well.
Yeah, it was another 575 bet, over half pot. Really signaling that he's not going anywhere, putting a lot of his chips in.
Yeah, and obviously the 2 bigs, 1 little, good board for him to continue.
Right.
Mendoza's going to have to find something to go with.
And this is it. Ace 10 all in for less than 10 big blinds. And neither of the blinds will pay him. Gets a free orbit out of it, but probably would have liked to have some action 5-handed with Ace 10.
We mentioned some of the satellites and some of the tournaments going on tomorrow. Scan that QR code or look us up on Poker Atlas. Follow on social media. You can see the structure, details of the entire series. Mendoza finding the middle again. Suited King Queen, another beautiful hand. You can see Bellow starting to think, is he just doing this with any 2 cards at this point? Real hands to work with, though, for Mendoza.
Gave it quite a bit of thought there with the Queen 9, but finds the muck and folds around to the big blind. Soleimani looking down at a suited ace.
Soleimani loses this. and essentially just flip stacks. Solani already has so much in.
There might be a little bit of meta going on here too, with Bellow thinking so long. Soleimani might think there's a dead ace in the muck.
Yeah.
And he decides to get out of the way. Mendoza picking up another set of blinds and antes.
Ah, can I keep it? All right. Give me someone next hand, please.
Mendoza, always fun to listen to at the table. Pretty good table talk. Yeah, I think Soleimani has done a good job chipping up. Doesn't want to just risk it on a flip there. It's going to be dominated so often, but you can level yourself the other way too. Mendoza now in the big blind. Could be just trying to collect blinds and antes before having to post them himself. Bellow. First in for 375.
Call.
Folds around to the big blinds, and Mendoza will defend. Puts in 375. Waiting for the graphics to catch up, and he does have Bellow dominated with the king jack.
Second the dark.
Checking dark as well. No pair, nowhere. King jack. Oh, sorry. Big pair somewhere. King jack flopping top pair. Goes check, check. 7-4 gets there. And now Mendoza firing at it. Picking up a nice pot. Been a good orbit for Mendoza. Picked up blinds and antes 2 in a row and then won a pot right afterward.
Definitely good to see if you're a Mendoza fan. We saw AC was in chat. Also good seeing Sheila in chat. Sheila and Kiwi Cole. 2 of our biggest supporters. I know y'all are going through a lot, so sending good vibes and energy y'all's way. Folds around to the blinds here, and Mendoza again.
Raise.
A hand and some chips to raise with.
Going big, 575. Thompson without much to defend with here.
Patience pays.
4 in a row for Mendoza. And with that, now Thompson is the shortest stack. Mendoza above 2 players now. Has a chance to win some bounties after that orbit. More than doubled up. Soleimani looking down at King Kong in the cutoff.
He doubled through Mendoza early on in the final table. Kings versus Jacks. Can't really double through them now, but could collect a bounty.
Opens to 3 1/4. Will not get action from the small blind. Bellow with a suited connector, though. Likely to peel a flop here.
Yeah, the only person that could double Soleimani here.
Ace high flop, and Bellow connects with the bottom pair. Be interesting to see if he leads out here.
Yeah, this flop action is going to determine so much of this hand.
He does lead for 3 1/4. I really like this, setting his own price and trying to find out if Soleimani's in there with ace-x or what, right? Soleimani just calling. Oh, and another ace comes out. Both players thinking this is a great card for them.
Yeah, Bellow thinking, okay, it's a jack or nothing for Soleimani. Not slowing down. 1.5 before this continuation here. 575. Right around third pot.
And Soleimani continuing to call with the best of it. Big pot brewing here. Kings with the check mark. I would think Bellow's got to know he's behind at this point. The only thing he's beating really is King Queen.
Soleimani taking inventory. Less than pot behind. Can't go wrong here.
Going for a little value on this river. That's 725. Bellow's been watching Soleimani kind of take over as table captain over the last couple of orbits. Don't want to give that person unnecessary chips.
I actually do really like the sizing.
Yeah, giving a great price.
Bellow had the betting lead on the flop and turn. Shut down river. Kind of signals a weaker holding, but maybe good enough to bluff catch. Gets paid.
In a big pot. Over 4 million out there. Now Bellow. Sorry, Soleimani. By far out chipping the other players other than Bellow in this hand, or at this table. Bellow now down to 7 million. Soleimani up to 5 million. The other players right in that 2 million range. This puts Soleimani in really good position.
Yeah, I think Bellow can even fold there if jammed on.
Right?
But gets paid. Probably both the max and the min.
Yeah, what a great size. Just too cheap for Bellow to fold, but I think Bellow knew he was behind there. He just had to. You're going to be right X number of times, and he thought that number was enough.
Soleimani not wanting to take a hand off.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him pick up the aggression now. Unfortunately for him, Mendoza waking up to a real hand. Or fortunately for Mendoza, who now gets to pick up some extra chips in the middle. 4-bet incoming. It's like 775. 3-bet, rather.
Sailboats for Bellow.
Gary Ellerman has entered the chat. Good evening, Gary. Good luck in Vegas. Sailboats in the muck.
Are you sure Bellagio's not the name of Gary's truck yard? Sorry, train yard.
Folds back around to Soleimani. Will he throw a rock and run, or will he defend with the 10-9? Likely to have 2 live cards. Playing the momentum. He will peel a flop. And takes the lead, hitting the only pair. Mendoza with nothing. Backdoor hearts working for him.
350.
C-bets 350 after Soleimani checks. Over 2 million in the pot now. Mendoza with 1.5 behind. Yeah, and Soleimani just jams it all in.
He said if you got a king, you got a king. Otherwise, I'm taking this down right now. Soleimani obviously recognizing he could be up against some other pocket pairs. But the check jam, such a strong line. And gets it done.
And picks up another sizable pot. Mendoza now the short stack at exactly 10 bigs.
I don't know if I have apps on that.
Did you have anything in there?
No, if I have something, of course I can call.
You might get there. Is that what you're saying?
runner, hearts, maybe. What, you have king jack? Back-to-back kings. I don't believe you. You're gonna four bet. You're gonna four bet. Oh yeah, I know you.
Thompson with the lady and a gentleman. Reaching for some raising chips. Two faces is good enough for 350. Action folding around to the man who's got all the momentum right now, Soleimani. In the big blind, also looking down at 2 face cards. Thompson does have him dominated, but he is highly unlikely to fold. For that price, he makes the call. Three hearts on board, no hearts in either of these hands. This would be a good board for Soleimani to lead out on, having defended the big blind, and he's reaching for chips right away. That's 350, putting the pressure on the shorter stack, and Thompson gets out of the way. Now virtually tied with Mendoza at the bottom of the board. It's a two-man show right now. Soleimani and Bellow, each above 7 million in chips. Everybody else below 2 million.
Yeah, and Soleimani basically one pot away from taking the chip lead from Bellow. If you weren't familiar with his game before this, Can kind of see why he's an issue when he's got chips. Navigated the short stack well. Chipped away. Won a nice size pot against Bellow. And now looking down, ace 6 in the small blind.
Putting maximum pressure on the shortest stack, moves it all in and takes it down. Showing the 6 of diamonds, of course, after Mendoza shows the 7 and 5 of diamonds.
I think he was looking to show the ace, but pulled the 6 first and was like, screw it, let's show this one just for fun.
I got broke again. Shit. No, you still haven't. We're pretty much close.
Welcome to 4-7 Indigo in the chat. AC already providing the info there for the buy-in. This was a 450 buy-in, 250K guarantee.
100K of that went to bounties, 150K in the prize pool. Top spot will get 29.9.
Yeah, and over 662 entries. You're looking at the final 5.
Still a $10,000 bounty out there. Only 5 players remaining. And I believe Bellow still has 1 bounty to pull. Hasn't done that yet. Soleimani just took the chip lead. 7.8 million in his stack, 7.4 in Bellow's stack. A large number of those chips came directly from Bellow's stack. He was up over 10 million just a couple orbits ago.
Soleimani finding a fold now. Thompson, Queen Jack. All in.
If you go in, it's not coming. No, the next one.
Bellow really hasn't had much to call off with pre-flop when facing a jam like this. This is one of the better holdings he's had.
No, yeah, that's what I'm asking. Pre-flop.
Counts it out. Cards on their backs now. Thompson at risk. Bellow looking to collect another bounty with ace high. 2 live cards for Thompson. Found a good spot to get the chips in, and
wow, both players hitting, one hitting hard.
Runner, quad.
So we're just wondering how many aces are in the deck, really? Got to hit it twice.
Yeah, king 10. All right.
10 for a sweat. A king will do the job. Triple aces, though. Good for Bellow. The rich get richer, and unfortunately, Thompson will be ending her night in 5th place. A great run, though. Be taking home $7,000 and 900 in bounties.
What a great run for David Mazurlov, though, taking 2nd place.
Oh man, I want to win 200K.
Did you know my friend won a seat into that tournament?
Really?
Yeah, he played a satellite and he won a seat into the main.
Oh, really?
Really, it only cost him $200.
It's true. You could turn 200 into 200,000 at the Fall Poker Open this October.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, you can really turn that $200 into $200,000. From October 16th through the 28th, come on down to Champions Club Texas Fall Poker Open. For more details, use QR code and link.
Play your hand, player.
I'm all in.
Play your hand, play your hand. No fuck counting the stacks, stacking the bags. And no fuck counting.
Four-handed now, and Soleimani looking down at Ace King. Worst king for Bellow.
Four-handed play, King 10 suited looking pretty strong. He's definitely not going to go anywhere.
Queen 6 in the big blind, stuck between the two chip leaders. Gets out of the way. Ace King in position. Comes out Jack 7 Trey Rainbow.
Kind of flop that should favor the player defending in the blind. But Soleimani will take a stab here with nothing.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like for Bellow, it's either a check raise or a fold. But he decides to give it a call here.
Ace King gets there. Got shot to Broadway for Bellow. Presence of a flush draw now for nobody. Bellow likes to check. Especially now that the drawing hand has hit its hand. Not going to slow down. Goes for 600. And gonna take it down. The chip's up over $1 million.
The rich get richer. Big stacks clashing. Soleimani coming out about $1 million ahead of Bellow now.
Those plaques still in the stack of Bellow. Each plaque worth $1 million. The white and purple chips worth 100,000 each, and the green chips worth 25,000 each.
Folds to the dealer button. Bellow raising it up with a king. King 8 offsuit. Opens to 450. And the King 10 of clubs has found its way into Soleimani's hand. It's going to call, be out of position, but a dominant favorite. Going heads up to the flop. Bellow hits his kicker though, takes the lead. And it goes quick check, check, open-ended now is Soleimani. Bellow still in the lead. 3 hearts on board now, no heart among these 4 cards. And Soleimani checking again. Bellow's just going to check back. And unfortunately for him, Soleimani hits Broadway. But gets the minimum. Check, check.
Yeah. Wow. Nuts. Nuts.
Oh, yeah. No nuts.
Looks like they're having players play a little bit of musical chairs just to make these camera shots a little bit easier.
Yeah, shift around a little bit.
Bellow first to act with offsuit King Jack.
Raising it up, 450. Soleimani with the suited 2-gapper in the small blind. And the shortest stack at the table in the big blind behind him. Appears he's going to put in a 3-bet here with the 10 high. Kind of interesting. Makes the 3-bet essentially Mendoza's stack. So betting will not reopen, which will allow Bellow to call if Mendoza goes all in here. But Mendoza gives up the ace high with all that action in front of him.
I think Soleimani's going to pick up on this body language and timing here. But Bellow finds a click back. Not the move I was expecting, given that body language.
That body language might have been from Soleimani raising the short stack out of this pot that he wanted to win. But he's going to just raise back and take down over $1 million or recapture the chip lead instead.
Nice move by Bellow. Found a good spot.
And now Mendoza down to just 5 bigs. Anderson at just under 10 bigs and will be the big blind next hand. So 2 of these players very short in chips.
Yeah, and this is a weird spot for Anderson. Coming into the blind next hand, as you mentioned, but the pressure of having Mendoza so short in the small blind as well.
In 4-handed, these blinds come around quick. You have to figure out something when you're that short.
And this is it. Ace-Jack for Bellow. Just got the chip lead back, and now Ace-X versus Ace-X. Bellow the better of it, and covering. Ace-3 at risk. Catches a 3 on the flop. 2 diamonds on board for Ace-Jack. Could go backdoor diamonds. They start to come in.
Wow.
4/5 of the steel wheel.
Triple 3s, though.
Anderson will double through the chip leader. binks it and binks it again, fades the diamonds, and pressure definitely relieved for Anderson. Now all of that pressure shifted to Mendoza.
Yeah, huge double for Anderson. Just in time for his big blind. And now Mendoza needing to find something in the next hand or two.
Yeah, and this pay ladder is essentially 3.5. Every player is locked up 9,180. Third place getting 12,670.
And don't forget, still a 10K bounty in there. So, you know, out of 5 balls, they got a 20% chance to pick that 10K, which could be huge. Soleimani opening this one with a suited ace-6. Mendoza's going to wait. 9-7, not good enough. Bellow with the Kojak again, though. 3-bet big with it last time. 4-bet big with it, actually. This time just calling. Bellow spiking a jack on the flop, takes the lead, and leads out 550,000. Action folds to our initial raiser. Soleimani with backdoor clubs, but otherwise missing this flop. He is going to peel, looking for an ace or a club on the turn. Will get neither of those things. And another big pot brewing between the two chip leaders at the table. Check, check. And he binks another jack. Jack's full now for Bellow. Trying to figure out how he can get any value out of this. Now, Soleimani might think that that's a good card for him.
Yeah, ace high is typically loving a double paired board, especially when it double pairs like this.
Bellow has the king of spades in his hand. Soleimani might put him on a missed spade draw. Yeah, bets small and gets an instant call out of it. Picks up some more value, wins another 4 million chip pot, and increases his lead against the other big stack in the game. Bellow up to almost 10 million in chips again. Mendoza looking to make something happen this hand before he has to put in a blind and an ante. You don't win as much back when you're the ante, but decides not to do it with the 10-9. So next hand he's going to have to put 400,000 of his 625 in the middle. Bellow with a suited ace wheel on the button will open to 450. he'll pick up the blinds and antes. And now Mendoza's going to have to go with this one.
This is essentially a spot where you just don't look at your cards.
And really it's a spot where Bellow should min click and everybody should call.
Yeah. Given the bounty format and the 10K bounty is still in play.
Wow. I did not see that coming. This is very interesting that anybody would fold in this spot. To me, anyway. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but...
And what a hand to go with. Looks at one, puts the rest in. The ace is good enough. Dominating the 10-8.
Yeah, with the ace, yeah. Oh, have to do it.
Always a sweat.
Picking up outs. 9 or an 8 for Soleimani.
Who folded 10-4? Ace 10.
Makes Broadway in the end. Had the best of it the whole way there.
Doubles through, but still the shortest stack at less than 10 big blinds. At least he made it through the big. Now he only has to put 100,000 in.
And got to make it through the big blind again very quickly. Blinds come at you fast.
You appreciate it, you say?
And why you trying to bully me with 10 Just because you have a lot of chips? You just can give me a walk. I'm all in.
Folds around to the blinds, and Mendoza all in again, this time with queen high. Bellow with a pair. Definitely getting in there. Mendoza needing some help now, or he will be eliminated. Giving Bellow his second bounty of the entire tournament. The 7's not going to be enough. Needs another 7 or a queen. Not the face he was looking for.
Ooh. Queen on the end will be good for Mendoza to find another double.
You can't kill this guy. He's back in it now, virtually tied with Anderson. Fall Poker Open in full effect. This is this mystery bounty. We got the 1 million guaranteed main event coming up next week. Side events tomorrow include a Turbo No Limit Hold'em event and the Horse event, as well as multiple satellites into that main event. Satellite your way into the main. It's a $1,500 buy-in, 1 million guaranteed. But you can get in it for as little as $135. Turbo Mega Satellites at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. tomorrow, and a Milestone Satellite at 7 p.m. Come join us here at Champions Club, 6440 West Sam Houston Parkway South in Houston, Texas. We're the only poker club in all of Texas with a hotel on site. So even if you're not in Houston, you can come stay here and play in that 1 million guarantee.
450.
The 8s have found their way to Soleimani. It's going to open to 450. Folds around to the big blind. Anderson looking down at a suited 8-4. Getting a pretty good price to peel here. Doesn't know how bad a shape he's in. You might think you have 2 live cards when you look at those. Decent flop for him, though. Gut shot, backdoor hearts. And this is the kind of board that should favor the big blind. But he'll check it. Soleimani c-betting for 350. And a quick call from Anderson. Does not get the help he needs here.
Soleimani not slowing down. And this time Anderson does get out of the way. Would have liked to hit that gut shot or maybe find a heart draw on the turn. Did not. Cards back out now. Soleimani in the big blind. In action starting with Mendoza. King 10. Shortest stack in the small blind. It is a hand to go with, and he does.
How much?
Soleimani waking up with a connector here. Likely to give action. He does. And Anderson out in front with the suited king, but facing elimination with the shorter stack. Fourth place, 91.80. Bad flop for him. All hearts. Soleimani with the 8 of hearts in his hand, still flipping. 6 of clubs, a good card. Just needs to fade a heart, a 9, or an 8. Oh no, it's the 10 of hearts that will eliminate Anderson in fourth place. 91.80 going home with him, as well as his bounties. He collected 6,300 in bounties already today. So pretty good payday for Anderson. Just over 15K, including his bounties. And now there are 3. And Soleimani picking up another shot at that 10K bounty with that elimination. Wants to cash it in here and draw one of those balls.
Yeah, Bellow still with at least 1, if not 2. I believe it's 2 bounties to pull.
Yeah, I don't. If with that few in there, I wouldn't let anybody go in front of me. I'd be pulling one every time. So the 2 big stacks virtually tied. Mendoza in between them with 2.3 million. Soleimani putting max pressure on with suited cards, and Mendoza looking down at Big Slick. Will be making a quick call here. Good shot to double up. Having the ace of clubs in his hand is very good for him. But needs to fade the live cards of Soleimani because he does have the shorter stack. Well, that's one good way to fade him. Just flop top top. Taking a commanding lead.
No sweat on the turn. Mendoza will find the double.
Big double for him. He's going to be up close to 5 million in chips now. And Soleimani knocked down to about 6.2. Puts them closer together. And Bellow up on top at almost 9 million.
Where's the floor? I want to pull out the bounty.
Floor.
Can I pull it, John? Can I take it? Yeah. Sure.
Soleimani about to take a pull here for that bounty. There's still a live $10,000 bounty in there. I believe all the small ones have been pulled, but I thought that before, and somebody got a $300 one. Soleimani looking down at ace-queen on the button, though. We'll open this one up to 450. Bellow defending with queen 7 is going to be dominated here and out of position. Going heads up into the flop. Ace-queen getting better.
400.
C-bet of 400 gets it done. And here comes the pull.
Pull out the 10K. This is waiting for me in the corner. You see that? I mean, you need to shuffle it. You waited too long, buddy. This is the 10K.
Is that the one?
That would be a heartbreaker for Bellow if he waited on it and the 10K got pulled.
Yep.
Oh, the 10,000. No, it's the 1,000.
Oops, sorry.
I was out taking pictures earlier, and Amir knocked out a player, and I could not find somebody happier to pull a 300 bounty. He asked for me to take a picture of with it.
That's great. Bellow opening this one from the small blind. Queen 10. Soleimani the one dominated this time. Queen deuce defending. Not much for either player. It is blind versus blind, though, so either player could have connected with this board. Bellow reaching for continuation chips. Looks like he's going to go big here. Half pot, 650. 750 over half pot. C-bet gets it done.
1,000. For 125, 1,000, 1,000, and 2 300s. 2,500. So that's 35. That's 41. 41 so far. I needed this break, dude.
Bellow on the button, king high. Gonna open here to 475. Soleimani getting out of the way.
I'll be hanging around in front of
Mendoza with the suited 8,
You want me to
ace 8.
turn it off?
And there will be a short break for the players after this hand, but we will be coming back. Stick with us. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button for us and then subscribe if you haven't already done so. Great poker streams coming up next week. Tuesday through Friday cash games. And then we have the 1 million guaranteed main event final table coming up. Three bet from Mendoza gets the job done. He'll pick up a few chips from Bellow. Chip stacks starting to get a little closer together. Bellow still the chip leader at 8.7 million. And players will be taking a 10-minute break at this time. We got some highlight action coming up for you, but don't forget about that milestone satellite tomorrow at 7 p.m. We'll be doing that 7 p.m. every night for the next 4 nights. And Turbo Super Satellites every evening at 10 p.m. and every morning at 10 a.m. through Friday. 135 buy-in. Win your seat into that main event.
You can. You can. You can. You can.
You can be the winner of the $1 million guaranteed main event at Champions Club Texas this fall poker open. Are you game?
It was cool.
In a Nick game, both of these players having premium hands.
I don't know Eddie super well, but I imagine that these two have played together before. They're both Houston guys. Yeah, Eddie just jamming.
That's fine.
And they're going to run it 2 times, and Ham is in really good shape
Good luck.
to double up here.
Straight on the top board for a chop.
Oh my god.
Oh my, 10's full on the first flop.
Looks like 10 in the window. Wow.
Well, we saw the one outer get there last time.
Oh, man, the poker
Ham
got
still has
full.
a shot, but it's likely Eddie's going to get this first run out at least.
Very close on the river. Queen.
Burned a lot of clubs there, so.
Clubs came out. Deck is
Ham.
cool though.
Oh, 10's full on both boards. Case 10. What the heck?
This might be a Max Payne stream here.
No, that's not.
Ham needs to
real.
find one of the last 2 kings.
Getting him bad.
Feel like a lot of Barbie gonna come today.
Oh, what a cooler.
Basically, the go today is to
I've
get
had a
it in
chai
bad.
since I do love chai. I don't think I've had one since I moved to Texas. It's too hot here
Yeah,
all
it's
the
too
time.
Good iced chai.
I like an iced chai too.
Nice chai tea latte. Yeah.
Joker Jerry with 9s under the gun, opens for 5 again.
Oh. Wow. Vit just opened Muck's ace jack here. Lots of respect.
Anybody.
Vit the knit. Keep that button all night if you're folding that hand, right? No.
Well, Mitt's got a pretty sticky hand with 8s. Slightly pipped and out of position, but 10 9s in there with the
And 3 aces on board. Ham
just an
open
auto
mucks.
muck.
Oh no, a mid bet 2K. That makes more sense.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was an open mic too. I was like, yeah, I auto fold that hand as well.
Joker Jerry makes the call. Has the best of it, but how much pressure is Amit going to put on here? Looks like he checked.
Hopefully that gives Jerry a significant amount of information to let him know his hand's slightly
Oh wait,
stronger.
I don't think that was a check. I think the camera cut to him right after he threw all his yellow chips in there. 7,000.
wow.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Ooh, you get a call.
Well, obviously Jerry's not going anywhere here, and Amit is drawing dead. Pretty card on the river, but it makes no difference.
No, wait. Oh my god. One midget by 1 notch.
And 1 pip, yeah.
Suck,
Oh, poor Amit.
That's terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, Vic.
All right, Sam. 1 bullet.
You're the, you know I'm not going nowhere, dude.
I know that. I just don't like loading one ever. 1 time.
I'll pay interest.
Now Viet with the hooks.
Oh, hey,
Still stacking chips. You should probably just fold jacks if you're still stacking chips.
Yeah, after beating
Caleb's a
jacks
sucker
as
for
well.
$10 on.
Easy fold. Raises to 100 instead.
But I don't have.
Nice hand, yeah.
Is it 100?
I would have to yell someone to give it to you.
Yeah, Caleb is the one with all the chips, man.
7 deuce gets there.
And I just double you up too.
You give it right to the end.
Yeah, if you're going to have jacks, you want to get called by Jack 10. I read that in a poker book one time.
What the fuck? Like, how do you call that small ass fucking
Check raise for
that
calling?
fucking small ass flush?
I don't know.
The
Or is
fuck
that a
was that,
call?
dude?
Got me thinking. What is it?
Check raise to 285.
If you go turn, it's actually not that bad. Huh? Hard to fold flushes. 3 high flush?
Four high flush.
Four high flush?
3 high flush easy to fold.
Front door spades coming in on the paired board.
A gut shot as well for Colin. Vegas Fiat's jacks are in some danger here, and as Colin
Man, I thought I was making a
leads out,
comeback.
Fiat might just lay this one down. 475,
Right,
pretty
I did
small
my
bet
top.
though.
It's all right. I'll get it back from Viet. Since he would have
I did my pot.
get me back in.
Fucking say I'd be like Caleb if I fold this, so I call.
Yeah, it does make the call.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Never slow rolling, Sam. Horrible for the game.
Check mark delivered.
Should be ashamed of
Should be ashamed of
yourself.
yourself.
me again?
I am. You know that. You should never slow roll him there. That's horrible.
Colin gonna go big here.
Slow on what?
1700.
The nittiest guy on the table shouldn't be talking. Period. Period.
Look at your number.
If you look at my number, every game that we play, who beat Pip is better. Yours is always on the bottom. You shouldn't be talking. You're the tightest guy on the table. You shouldn't be talking. The tightest guy should not be talking.
You're the tightest
I'm
guy.
telling you.
You're the tightest guy.
Every game, who's beat
Who
Pip
has
is
it on the
better.
river?
I'm just telling you.
Who has it on the river?
Look at the numbers.
Look at the hands.
It don't matter the hands.
bud. You know it.
You're
You never
the
bluff.
tightest dude on the table.
Get away with it. Oh, you're fucking.
No,
Colin's
real
just trying to
talk.
get this bluff
Real
through.
talk.
Bluff.
You always know things. Everybody
he's
knows
hating
what
this.
cards it is.
It's like
Shit, you're the tightest dude.
they're talking about V-Pip, and I'm trying to get a bluff through.
He went pot.
Call me the tightest.
Jack's tightest.
You're funny.
I didn't say anything about
Look at your numbers.
I've seen my numbers.
Yeah. 17.
Either way, Outlaw's going to have some needles here.
Flush.
Nope. Jack high.
Oh, he
Jack
almost
high.
mugged
Oh,
the
I got two
jacks.
jacks. Oh, jeez. Blame it on Kayla. I was going to fold for sure. Blame it on Kayla, man. I was going to fold my hand, guarantee 100%.
Yeah, there's nothing better than us calling him a nit while I'm bluffing.
Fuck, I know. Dude, this dude is the tightest dude. And he's telling me to call him the loosest guy on the table at nit. What the
Whoa,
fuck?
I'm the loosest
Yeah,
guy.
no, I know. But just look at the numbers.
Yeah, that's my title.
every number is on the
Let's see.
stream. Who's the highest? This guy talks so much shit that that is funny.
Just because you play
Dude,
doesn't mean
it doesn't matter.
Still owe
Look,
that
who
nit
lost?
tax. That's going to be covered
I'm gonna rat hole now.
What happened?
by the man leaving the game. 2/3 of our players back in their seats. Action will resume shortly. Looks like we do have that trophy on the table as well. Again, $29,900 and that tournament trophy for first place.
And still a 10K bounty yet to be pulled. Bellow has a bounty chip that he hasn't cashed in yet.
Missing a person.
Coming.
Oh, okay. Just kidding, I'm not missing a person. All set?
Chip leader back at the table and got some additional plaques. Color up during the break. Each of those plaques worth $1 million.
Are we good? Yeah. We're good.
The blue and white chip worth $100,000 each, and the green chips $25,000.
Just noticed that Bellow actually has 2 bounty chips he hasn't cashed in. 3 players left in the table and 5 balls left in the bounty. And a walk for the chip leader. 7-4 gets there. Wrong button. That's the one.
Dan now has control of sound effects, so when 7-4 does get there, we will know in multiple ways.
It'd be better if I hit the right button, but I'm still learning.
Suited ace queen on the button.
Huge hand.
Button is also under the gun.
4 raises to 600.
Hands now at 125 and 250,000.
Are we three-handed? What are these hands three-handed? A suited ace 7 out of the small blind.
And Bellow with just about double the chips of Mendoza. Looks like he's grabbing for some raising chips here.
And Mendoza, quick call using a black.
Oh, both players hitting their kickers. Top for Mendoza. Second pair for Bellow. We could have a clash here. It's hard to make a pair and hold them. There's 3.1 in the middle. Mendoza with 3.4 in his stack. Bellow leading out for 850,000, and Mendoza trying not to look so excited. Jams it all in. Can Bellow get away from this? Flopped a pair.
Three what?
Well, this would be one of the biggest pots since this final table started. And the chip leader would flip if Mendoza gets called and holds up here.
Yeah, just be right under 11. But does make the fold.
Good lay down for Bellow. And now these chip stacks very close together. Mendoza does take the lead, 7 million. Bellow at 6.5 and Amir at 5.6.
Bellow looking down at another strong hand. King Jack suited. First to act while Mendoza is still stacking that last pot.
Quick call from Mendoza, though, with a suited king of his own.
I think he was still just trying to post.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. That is just the big blind. It looked like a call that he gets out of the way.
Surprised he didn't defend that.
Yeah, suited king, not in bad shape, especially three-handed. The button's going to open with a lot of hands.
Bellow and Mendoza basically even in chips. Amir, ace 9. Goes 525. Bellow does defend. Board comes 8 high for Bellow. That 9 of Amir doing some work around the 7-8. Does Bellow want to lead out? He does. Reaching for chips.
Definitely a board that's going to favor the big blind's calling range over the raising range. But three-handed, things are going to be very wide. Bellow goes pretty big, though, and gets a fold out of a mirror.
Yeah, that large sizing, denying some floats that Amir could possibly have. Jack 6, first to fold. Six, 5 limps. Somehow 2 overs to the big blind. Couldn't go wrong with a check or a raise here. Nice to find the raise, though. Gets it done. Deuce 3 is not going to play that well post-flop. Better to rep strength early. Or best case scenario, just take it down. Also good to balance out when you do have hands that are worth raising with.
Suited one gapper on the button for Bellow now. Looks like he's going to raise it up. 550 the number. Still plenty of play for all of these players right now. Average stack is right around 27 big blinds. Big stack separated from the small stack by only 8 big blinds, so nobody in shove or fold territory. Amir looking down at a premium here in the small blind. Ace-Jack suited, three-handed. That's going to look like aces. And he's going to raise it big. Looks like 1.75. Little over 3x. Putting Bellow in a spot again. And with that pickup, these stacks are going to be very evened out.
Anybody's game right now with 29.9 up top.
And a 10K bounty still in the bucket.
Everybody has locked up 12,670. Second place, good for 19,400. Plenty left to play for.
And Bellow with 2 bounties uncollected, interestingly, really influences the ability for these guys to talk about chopping this, right? Because if they decide they're going to chop, he's going to pull those 2 bounties, and it's going to change what's left out there.
Yeah.
So he almost has to pull those bounties before they could talk about making a deal, or they just have to gamble on it.
Top and bottom for Bellow.
And Mendoza leading out with the gut shot.
Bellow also with the ace of clubs. I like the just call here. Don't blow off your opponent. You've got so much of this. Keep all worse hands in. keep the bluffs going. Board straightens out for king 10, for 10-9. Also, don't mind this.
Yep.
Board starts to get more connected. You found a safe street. No front door flush comes in. You just take it down now. Lots of rivers you could hate there.
Yeah, for sure. Good spot. Bellow recapturing the lead by a pretty decent margin now. Mendoza down at the bottom, 5.2. Bellow at 8, and Amir in the middle, 6.3 million. Still anybody's game. Mendoza still with over 20 big blinds, so even the short stack has plenty of play.
Oh yeah, he's got food. He's not going anywhere. Ace 10 for Bellow. Last orbit, limped in. This orbit, blind on blind, not limping in. That limp last time around invited a 3-bet. Sorry, raise from Amir. Amir, suited connector. Very defendable. Paired on the top end. 3 by itself on the flop. Amir does turn the gut shot, and really this whole board favoring Amir. High card good for Bellow in position. Sorry, Bellow's out of position here.
But he does take a small stab at it, 350,000. Over $1 million in the pot. Amir putting in a raise. Min clicking to 700, it looks like, or perhaps 800,000. Yeah, 800. I like this play. As you said, it favors his range here, and he could hit a straight if called. It also just allows him to get a really cheap read on the situation here. Bellow's body language there, not saying I have a king. Straight does not get there, but 5-6 does improve to the best hand.
River's the showdown value, checks behind. Waits in turn to show, and shows the goods.
Takes this one down, and now he will recapture the chip lead. I do believe.
Looks like Bellow's having a good time with that one, seeing he did make the correct call on the turn, but got rivered.
I can't.
Jack 6 hits the muck. Amir sizing up Mendoza's stack before deciding to open this one. 9-4. But Mendoza, looking down at an ace, puts in a quick re-raise and takes it down. Very even chip stacks now. Every player with just over 6 million. Fall Poker Open in full swing here at Champions Club Milestone Satellites. Every day for the next couple of days at 7 p.m. Win your seat into the main event. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., 3 seats guaranteed. And then a Turbo Mega Satellite right after that at 10 p.m. Plenty of ways to get into this main event. 1 million guaranteed. Turn a couple hundred into a couple 100,000. Amir keeping the pressure on. Playing like the big stack whether he is or not. Opens to 5 1/4 with 4-5 on the button. Bellow looking down at the Bel Air aces, though, isn't going anywhere. Jack 10 suited. It's going to see a flop.
Five four does connect.
7-4 gets there. Big time.
Goes check, check.
Now open-ended for Bellow. Just going to check it again. See if Amir decides to take a stab with the bottom pair. He does. 350. A real good price here for Bellow. The open-ender and 2 overcards. He's not going anywhere. $2 million in the middle now. 2.1. And I believe there's a river card out there. It just didn't trigger the graphics. Oh, the nuts are nuts straight for Bellow. Front door spades get there, but as played, he doesn't seem worried about that. Going for a little value. 850,000 worth. Just under half pot, but Amir not going to give up any more chips with bottom pair. Gets out of the way. Suited connector for Mendoza on the button. Reaching for raising chips. Makes it 550, and Bellow looking down at Jack 10 again, this time offsuit in the small blind. But he made a straight with it last time, might as well appeal a flop here. Makes the call. Amir with King 4 off will also get in there, and I think this is the first time we've had all 3 players going to the flop since we've been 3-handed. No pair, nowhere. Gut shot for Mendoza. Amir in the lead with King High. Checks all the way around. And 10 of spades gives Bellow the lead here. He's going to check it. Hoping somebody else is going to take a stab so he can check raise. And Amir's taking the bait. Goes 575. Mendoza could call here with the gut shot, but with another player behind him, decides to get out of the way. And it appears that Bellow is just stacking out calling chips here. I would have thought this would be a check raise with the check through on the flop. Oh, going back for more. Raises. Doesn't put enough in there. He's going to have to put 75,000 more for a min click. And it appears Amir has already folded. And the rich get richer. Another pot for Bellow. Amir now moving down to the shortest stack at 4.6 million. Bellow closing in on that 10 million spot that he's had a couple of times in this final table.
Action will start on Bellow now. Folds king 3. Amir not going to fold ace 9 suited, but limps in there.
Getting trappy with it.
Queen 7 checking the option. Both players connect, all clubs on board. The only club in the hand for Mendoza.
Yeah, it's a flip here. Amir leading out for 3 1/4 gets a quick call. Safe turn card for the ace, though. Gives Mendoza a free shot at the river. Running deuces is going to be good for Amir. He'll just check it again and take the pot. Amir and Mendoza now very close in chips. Amir flipping to the middle spot. Mendoza taking the bottom spot.
Yeah, interesting, and I think good check on the turn from Amir, knowing that any strong club draw would still call and potentially get there. So
yeah, we are aware that the table volume is down. They are going to fix that here. We're on a delay. We know that the volume's going to come back up in a couple of hands here.
Are you telling me that people don't like the sound of our voice?
I think the sound of our voice is beautiful.
It is always nice, especially for poker players, to hear that background chip shuffling and basic noise.
Yeah. Well, the table has been so quiet, I don't think anybody noticed that the volume was off until just there where they started talking, and so they're going to correct it in a couple of hands.
Some real hands for everybody. So again, all 3 players to the flop.
And almost 2 million in the middle already. And board kind of connecting to everybody a little bit.
Backdoor clubs for 2 players. Mendoza hits the king 9 kicker. Amir's got that gut shot.
Checks all the way around twice.
Everything bricks out.
I can't imagine Mendoza's going to fold to a bet on this river. Doesn't make sense anybody having an ace and checking it 2 times, but I've seen stranger things, especially when you're in between 2 players.
Yeah, easier to use this bluff catcher when last to act, but Bellow going to be closing out the action, so it will get through.
Nicely played by Amir. Oh no, there
Sorry,
was a
did find
call. I think the graphics may have been off for a second there. Mendoza does make the call, and Amir moving down more. 3.8 million. About 15 bigs. And in the big blind right now. Mendoza looking down at 8 deuce will get out of the way. Bellow with queen high is going to limp in, I think for the second time only in blind versus blind. Showing a little bit of weakness, and Amir waking up with a really big hand here. Pocket tens. Putting in a pretty sizable raise. 800,000, and it'll just end the hand right there.
I'm still just thinking about how Bellow has those bounty pulls. At this point, I think I would be pulling at least one, if not both.
Yeah, he already let Amir jump ahead of him once, and having that 10K in there, and you have like a 40% shot of getting it, I just don't see why you would not take that opportunity. If somebody, if Mendoza knocks out Amir and says, I want to pull, he's got a really good shot at getting that 10K. And with pocket kings in his hand, he's got a good shot of eliminating Amir. Just jams it all in. I think you might go a little slower than that with kings. Only picking up one big blind.
Shows it as well. Bellow now posting the big blind. Action going to start with Amir.
This is not the hand to go with. And it looks like we're going to have a walk for the chip leader.
Well-timed walk. Ace high versus a bunch of trash. Standard three-handed configuration. Bellow maintaining that chip lead right now. Short stack in the big blind.
And this time it's a walk for Amir. This 9 high has been moving its way around the button. Bellow getting out of the way. Amir now with the ace 8 in the small blind. Going big, 700,000. And Mendoza giving up on the jack 7. And I do believe we have a dealer change coming up here.
You can. You can. You can. You can.
You can be the winner of the $1 million guaranteed main event at Champions Club Texas this fall poker open. Are you game?
Well, we are our away.
Hour ahead, late.
Blinds are up now, 150 and 300,000. 3 players remain out of a field of 662 players. Top spot 29,900. This is a bounty tournament. Still have some bounties left in the bucket. One of those bounties is worth $10,000. Bellow still has 2 bounty chips that he has not claimed yet. So he's got a good shot at that 10K.
It's already 300. Wow. That's why I thought it's 125.
Raise.
And with the blinds going up to 300K, average stack 22 big blinds, but Bellow has the lion's share of the chips right now, raising with King Jack suited. Takes down another big blind from Mendoza. Shortest stack still has 15 big blinds, so plenty of play still at this final table. I do love the structures here at Champions Club. Very rare to have a final table where it's just an all-in or fold situation. Plenty of chips, slow structures. Give the players the ability to actually play some poker and not just gamble. Bellow looking down at a suited connector, and the small blind is going to open it up here. Putting the pressure on the shortest stack. Amir with 15 bigs has 2 of them involved in this pot already. He's got a dominating lead, but it's tough to call with 9 high when being pressured by the chip leader. And he will get out of the way. Bellow using that stack to his advantage.
Jacks, first act.
Let's throw it in the trash. Stacking up some of those beautiful octagon oversized chips. 850. Oh my. The chips are getting in the middle here. Aces versus jacks. 3-handed. And Mendoza yet to look at his cards. Could be kings under there. Who knows? Could be jokers. Amir just calling. Inviting Mendoza along for the ride. Disguising the strength of his hand. Gonna play these aces out of position. Heads up. Mendoza gets out of the way. 2.3 million in the middle. Amir with 3.9. And all clubs on board. King high. Both players with a club in their hand. Aces way out in front. Goes check, check. And the clubs get there.
Yeah, I thought about a lot of action killing flops. Then we saw it. And then we saw this turn.
Bellow now with 1 out to a straight flush. Reaching for chips. Has the 3rd nuts right now up against the nuts. If you got the jack in your hand.
Yeah, and if you're Bellow, you're thinking that if Amir really had ace X, or even queen X for that matter, queen of clubs, probably would have felt a raise pre-flop.
Amir just calling. And another club comes off. Oh my. It's so hard to get value from this when you're out of position and you've got the nuts. If he leads out now, it just looks so strong, but
I check.
But if Bellow acts out a turn, you can pretty quickly check.
Yeah,
The bet will stay.
And you can just check raise now. The only thing that beats you is 7-8 of clubs. Queen jack of clubs, I guess. Bad mistake there for Bellow. Bet out of turn and faces the check raise jam and has to call now. Amir with a huge double up. It's going to be the chip leader by far. 8.4 million in the middle. And Bellow is going to be crippled.
Nice hand, man.
Thank you.
I guess not crippled. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Amir started that hand pretty short. Mendoza and Bellow pretty close. Amir, though, now with a pretty dominating chip lead. And the button.
Bet 650 for a fold.
Bellow defends. Offsuit king jack. King jack. Good here. Does make a pair. Both players different gut shots to Broadway. Bellow in check call mode.
Ooh, the gut shot gets there for one player. The other player picking up two pairs.
Rainbow flop means no flush comes in on the turn. Just the nuts for Amir right now.
Fires out a plaque. 1 million, just under half pot. Bellow with the call. Backdoor diamonds get there. Broadway's still good for Amir. 4.5 million in the pot. Amir will win this pot. It's just a matter of how big will it be. Goes for all of it.
And Amir fades that snap call, which gotta feel good about.
The diamond on the river may save Bellow some money. 4-liner on board already, and then backdoor diamonds get there. There's just so many hands that can beat the two pair. Bellow does find the fold. Very disciplined. Only 3 players in the game to fold 2 pairs, even though the board is super wet.
Amir now well over 10 million, closer to 11 million.
And Bellow at just over 10 big blinds at this point. Pressure on him to make something happen in the next orbit. Looking down at 9-10 in the small blind. Would think that would normally be a raise, but he's probably feeling like he's running really cold right now. Shows what I know. Says raise. Doesn't quite put out enough. He's going to be a min click to 600,000. Amir defending with suited 6 tray.
Two diamonds out there for Amir's suited big blind defense. Bets when check too.
And takes another pot down. Bellow now below 10 big blinds. And you can kind of see it on his face. He's not liking how these last couple of orbits have gone.
Yeah, and it's really seemed like Amir's had his number throughout this final table. They've played some big pots together, and more often than not, Amir gets the better of it.
Can you make this just the white one?
I think little less than 4.
Oh, there's definitely more than 4.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, okay, I see it. You have 4.
Less than 4.
No, you got 4.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Cool.
3 calls. Yeah, can you keep it in 20 so we can all read it?
No problem. I can do that.
Amir just calling with the suited 8-5. Mendoza checking his option. Heads up we go to the flop. Pretty much a flip. Not anymore. Top 2 for Amir.
How much?
3 bets, 500,000.
Fires out 500,000.
Mendoza finds the fold. Amir just in accumulation mode right now. Taking up chips left and right.
How much?
Amir running hot now. Waking up with an ace on the button. Bellow in the big blind with less than 10 bigs. Opens for 700,000. And Bellow's got him notched, ace-9. Gets the chips in the middle.
2 million something, right? It's like 2.2, right?
Amir asking for a count, already has his calling chip ready. He knows about where he's at.
2.25, right? Cool.
And Bellow now a big favorite to double. Get some of those chips back from Amir. But momentum has been going Amir's way. Bellow will be at risk with the shorter stack.
We can see that if Bellow does find that necessary double right now, Amir still sizable lead, and yeah.
Somehow go chop like king jack or something.
Nice hand.
Yeah, best hand gets better.
That's all I can hope for. Hey, that's a chop right there. Pair the
Check
board.
mark
Any
delivered.
The 9?
Oh, yeah.
No, not the
Board pair would result in a chop.
Oh,
Now check mark delivered.
Yeah. And Bellow asking to pair the 9 instead of anything else. Good double for Bellow. Evens out between Mendoza and Bellow now, and Amir still the chip lead.
Of course I want you to win, but
Bro, at this phase,
it is what it is. It's a good play between you two. They're fighting too much.
They're fighting too much, he said.
I mean, we get like standard hands like jacks, aces. Right now, ace 8, ace 9. I don't think we are fighting. It's just like
You're a small blind, please.
Well,
you
play
get
for the
kings.
chips.
You get kings, and I go all in with 9-3, and you have ace king. You get basically a free double up. We fight for our chips. You eat your burrito, you turn around, and you doubled up before you know it.
Bellow with a monster now. Queens in the small blind.
Raise.
Just doubled up. And now raising. $750 is the number. Big lick for Amir. He will defend. Bellow a huge favorite. But out of position. All clubs on board. Both players with one club in their hand. We've seen this before tonight. Gut shot for Amir. Bellow c-betting 900,000. Amir making the call. Big pot brewing. Board pairs. Queens still in the lead. All in for just under pot, 3.3 million into 3.6.
Nice.
And chip stack starting to even out again. Bellow almost at 7 million, Amir almost 8 million. Mendoza at the bottom now at 4.7.
We've been playing for a while, three-handed, right? Who was fourth place?
Maybe.
Oh, that was that guy.
Maybe an hour.
An hour?
No, maybe more.
We went to the break three-handed, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You already played 2 levels? No, it's gonna be 2.
Ace wheel on the button. Bellow reaching for raising chips. Goes 600,000. Amir with big slick now. Improving from big lick to big slick.
Quite an improvement.
Raise.
Big raise, 2 million. Casually tossing 2 plaques into the middle. And another ace wheel. This one suited for Mendoza. Just talking about how long they've been playing three-handed. Maybe he wants to go home. Or double up. Or triple up.
Oh, you're doing that speech thing?
Mendoza gets out of the way. I think this raise is too big for Bellow to call here with ace tray.
Good fold, good fold. We all have one of those.
Ooh, I had suited ace cards. Oh, you'll see on the live stream. I'm not lying.
Aces all around.
Suited.
The big kicker gets the pot.
You had suited?
Yeah.
What was the speech? Third place is good enough. Is that what you said?
Oh, huh?
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You said third place is already good enough?
No, I didn't say that. I had to get the third place, you know, like. Long time ago, I believe so. But I don't want to give up. Fuck no.
Suited King Jack for Amir now. Puts it all in.
Right? Give me some.
He's trying to go
He's
places.
bullying me all day long. Give me some.
He's not trying to stick around. Trying to just get the trophy and go home. Gets folds.
I need a double up.
I like home. I like trophies. Let's do this.
I need a double up.
Come on down to Champions Club. 6440 West Sam Houston Parkway South in Houston, Texas. 1 million guaranteed main event starting Wednesday. Plenty of ways to win your seat. 3 satellites tomorrow, one 10 a.m., one 7 p.m., and one at 10 p.m. Check Poker Atlas for all the details.
Why don't tell me?
Also have event number 5 and event number 6 tomorrow. Turbo No Limit Hold'em event at noon and the horse event
Pocket queens.
at 5 p.m.
No, you don't have queen.
I'm a big fan of the horse tournaments.
Watch this 3
15K guarantee on the horse. I believe it's a 20K guarantee on the Turbo No Limit Hold'em.
Correct.
Lots of guarantees tomorrow. Lots of guarantees all week.
I need a double up again.
Culminating in the 1 million guarantee main event.
How about you, Chris?
And if you like the cash streams, we're coming back with some cash streams starting Tuesday as well. PLO with the Stallions Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we got some huge No Limit Hold'em games going on here at Champions Poker Live, 7 p.m. Central. Hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell.
All right, I call.
4 calls, 750.
750 and a call. Mendoza, his 7 is dominated. All hearts on board. Neither player with a heart in the hole.
How much? Just wanna be ready.
Check.
2, 3 checks.
Check much.
Are you trapping me? I found out.
4, that's 1 million.
Okay, Mario.
I have 7 high.
Damn.
Shit, why you don't
so
call?
good.
7 high.
Nice hand, nice hand.
Mendoza showing the bluff.
Of course you
I had a
got me.
7 too.
Better
I
kick it?
dominated. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Moving up a bit, but Amir still has both of these other players covered by far, nearly double, both of them. And a suited ace on the button. Raises it up to 700,000. Quick fold from a Mendoza. And Bellow looking down. Same suit. 9-7 one gapper. Will defend. Well, let's hope for his sake that it doesn't come out diamonds. Uh-oh.
Diamonds plus a gut shot. Bottom pair plus the actual diamond draw for Amir.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a clash here. This is a pretty action board for these two particular holdings. A C-bet from Amir coming. Will it be a check raise from Bellow? He should have so much equity in this hand. $4.25 the bet. Yep, check raise to 14. Or 1.4, I should say.
Gonna see one last thing.
Both players trying to get all the chips in as quickly as possible. Bellow wouldn't mind a fold here, but Amir not gonna let that happen.
Makes the call. Amir a huge favorite. Bellow seeing the bad news. He does have 2 overcards to the pair, but he cannot hit a diamond here.
7, 8, or 9. Three spades, no help. Actually,
A little bit of help. He's double gutter now, as long as it's not a diamond.
4.
But it'll be a 10. And Bellow
Like 4, 7, about 8, over 8.
will be eliminated, but he does have 2 bounties still to collect. There's 10K bounty still in there. He came to this final table with right in the middle chip-wise, but with no bounties. 1. Ended up picking up 2 bounties during the final table, but hasn't cashed them in yet. And now he's got a shot to pick up $10,000 extra dollars. We know he's definitely going home with $12,670. And now we're heads up. Will he be collecting these bounties now? Yeah, it looks like, given the chips, David Phelps, the tournament director. And now, heads up, second place 19-4, first place $29,900. Take a look and see what bounties Bellow picks up.
Bellow came into the final table without pulling any bounties, so these are the first 2 and only 2 bounties he's pulling right now.
1,000?
1,000 as the first pull. So make that cash out worth 13,670 now. And the last pull for Bellow.
Oh, there's still a 300 in there. Wow.
All right, thank you.
So the 10K is still in there. They're heads up in the tournament. Oh, and he's going to collect now. Amir collecting on the Bellow bounty.
How much you had? He said only one
This
left.
was that's my eye.
It's not going to be small.
He was going to be small, he was going to be big. So here's this, is now his big block. Is that right, Dave? No, it was going to be his big blind. It was small, big. You know what I'm saying? Because the button was going to the home.
No, I was.
Oh,
not
this is
blind
the
over
10K.
there. Yeah, anyway.
There's another 300 in there. I was led to believe that those were all gone hours ago.
Did you get 300? Yeah, I thought
Amir now up to 4,300 on his bounties, or 4,400 rather.
200?
Seeing this is an interesting spot.
3-3, or we're gonna do
Heads up, the 10K bounty still in play.
2-4-4, or
No, it's the.
This is where if you're a little closer in chips, you could likely just say, hey, let's look at numbers and just play it out for the bounties.
No way.
Okay,
Wow.
next hand.
You're happy. You're happy.
Very happy.
You're happy that I folded.
Very happy. Man.
Holy fuck, I thought there was only 300.
They say earlier, right?
Yeah. After that, we pulled out.
But they're already coming for 300.
Is that where you want it?
Yeah, I think there's still a 2,500 in there also, so I think it's a 2,500 and a 10K, but that was based on information I was given before we got out here, and I didn't think there were that many 300s in there either, so maybe there was a little miscalculation or...
Okay.
4.575.
Can we take that 1 minute break or no? While he's figuring out stuff.
That's Dave.
Dave. Can I take a 1 minute restroom break? Because the clock is running and we're not playing. He's figuring out the seats, the rights. Okay, thank you. Just a minute, Mario.
I'm going.
This is not a full break. They're just going to take a quick restroom break while they reposition the cameras here. We will be right back. Not a 10-minute break.
This tournament. What a great run for David Mazurlov, though, taking second place.
Oh man, I want to win 200K.
Did you know my friend won a seat into that tournament?
Really?
Yeah, he played a satellite and he won a seat into the main.
Oh, really?
Really, it only cost him $200.
It's true. You could turn 200 into 200,000 at the Fall Poker Open this October.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. You can really turn that $200 into $200,000. From October 16th through the 28th, come on down to Champions Club Texas Fall Poker Open. For more details, use QR code and link.
Play your hand, player.
I'm all in.
Play your hand, play your hand. No
Finally, Ambrose sure you're good for the 40? Yeah, 40.
Oh, Sam doesn't put on the 320 and wakes up to aces.
Oh, wow. Like, what a spot to wake up. Yeah, it seems like he's a little bit angry that he didn't put it out.
And now he raises basically a min raise to 325.
Well, you guys have a fucking last hour roll that I forgot about.
Nines, what a cooler.
Oh, but Noor busted the aces last time with kings. Will he
Just
do
makes
it
a call.
again?
Oh,
What is it?
3 1/4. Big hand developing here.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, at least like Vegas Wert is blocking a 9.
5 ways to the flop. Sam with aces.
Give us a middling board dealer.
Deuce 4 7. Some weird
6 7 8.
Definitely regretting not straddling and probably regretting that small raise now with 5 players seeing this flop. Oh, what a wet board. And what a flop for Ambrose. Pair,
sick flop
gut
for
shot,
him.
club draw.
Open ender for Vegas.
Look what you do, Colin.
And nothing for RJ and Sam and Noor with the overpairs. Whoa, 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 we have a game.
Bros leading out for 1,000. Quick call from Viet. Sam might just muck these aces.
No way, no way.
All in.
He ripped it?
I think that's what he said. I saw 2 chips go in.
Let's go.
Maybe he just called. I don't think so. No, he was all in. Yeah, there we go. And now Bros all in.
What happened to the 9s?
9s folded. Bros all in.
Flop you wanted, Viet.
Oh, that's
a little bit of it.
Yeah, right?
Aces against 8-7 sounds like pretty. Like I think 8-7 should be ahead, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Once Viet gets out of the way, I think a lot of that equity is going to go right to the Bros. Oh, Bros is 50% 3 ways.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Viet makes a straight and wins that $27,000 pot or whatever it was.
Does a little dance to finish it off, and both of these players pretty happy about their situation. Heads up, playing for 29.9 and some pretty sizable bounty pulls. If we're correct, there's a 12,500 in the bounties alone.
Yeah, and whoever wins this gets both of those. I do believe.
All in.
Well, Amir putting the pressure on with a suited king. Mendoza will not defend with queen high.
You don't have to play post flop.
Not the right one to show there. Showing me you're going to fold some queens. Not going to fold the queen nine suited.
Raised to 1.2 million.
3 bigs is the race.
Yeah, blind's now at 200,000, 400,000. So the big blind has to put 800,000 in the middle every other hand. Mendoza needs to double so that he'll have the same chip stack as Amir. Amir with 3 times as many chips right now.
Raise.
Amir raising to 1 million with 7-5 suited. Casual flick in of one of those 1 million plaques. 7-5 flopping pretty well. Jack 8 flopping slightly better.
All in.
Mendoza leading out and Amir all in. Here we go.
I have a lot of outs.
Big chance
we need a 4,
for Mendoza
5,
to double.
9, right? Yeah, 4, 5, 7, 9.
He needs to hold though. Amir does have more chips, obviously.
Hold it at one time. 4, 5, 7, 9.
Jack 8 still good so far. Needs to fade the 4, the 5, the 7, or the 9, as Amir was saying. And he does. Double up. So these chip stacks now are virtually tied. Amir still slightly ahead, but only by a few big blinds. Anybody's game at this point.
And now the first real mention of a potential deal.
Talking about 10K difference. I just want to know what the bounties are. If they give me correct amount. I don't know if you can. But so far they had it wrong. Do you know exactly what those 2 bounties are? Yeah.
Am I holding up, Dave?
So Mendoza is interested.
Whatever you want. If you're okay with it, we hold up. I just want to know what the bounties are so we can do a fast calculation.
And talking about numbers, and Amir, as long as he knows what they're playing for and the bounty pool is open to that, and that would make a lot of sense.
The thing is, you're just a lucky guy. I can't beat you.
Yeah, if you just add that right onto the numbers, they can make a deal from there. Otherwise, it's really tough to make a deal if you don't really know what's in there. We think there's a 10K in there. We think there's a 2,500, but obviously that's not good enough for the players that they want to know, and I don't blame them.
And the one time I put it in, you should know, like, I might be ahead. You bet me 3 times.
Yeah, so right now, the difference in payout being 10,000.
Very, very standard.
So if the bounty pool is 12,500, and that goes to the winner.
Holy cow!
So 10K 300. So we're talking about 10K.
Oh, it's 10,300.
30, 40, let's say 50.
So there were
60K.
no 2,500s in there coming into this final table. I got some bad information on my way in.
More than a couple 300s in there.
30K each. If we don't chop, I might get 19, so that's a risk of 11. What'd you say? Can you let me know what you have exactly?
Yeah, I have a 5, 7, 7. No. Oh yeah, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 5, 6, 8, 7. Oh shit, 8, 7, 50. 8,750,000. How much do you have? It's not very much.
Okay, we do ICM.
Okay.
I'm going to keep the trophy, and you're going to take the winner picture. Good deal? And we're going to chop the bounties.
We chop the bounties?
Yeah.
Deal. All right.
Can we do that?
Looks like they're doing an ICM chop, including the bounties.
I'm really tired.
Amir will be just ahead here, so he will take first place, and Mendoza will take second. But payouts will be pretty close. I'm guessing that Amir's going to end up with about 31 or 32. Mendoza's going to end up with just short of 30 when all's said and done.
And that's including the
bounties.
Bounties there, yeah.
Yeah, there's essentially just short of 60,000 with the bounties included.
Can't chop that bad boy up, though. Nice looking trophy there. If you want to win one of those, there are still plenty of events going on all week long, including our main event. You can win your way into the $1 million main event. Check us out on Poker Atlas or your favorite social media for more details on events to come. Get all the structure and time buy-in info you need.
Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button.
8-5.
Come on back Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central for our next stream. It's going to be PLO with the Stallions. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, No Limit Hold'em cash streams featuring World Series of Poker main event champion Jonathan Tamayo coming back to town. We got Poker Mama coming to town. We got Slick Rick. All kinds of super fun action coming up this coming week here at Champions.
2,100 million difference.
I know.
Chips. Okay, whatever you want.
So if in total, there's also, you said 10,000 bounty, right? So there's 35K in total for, no, 30,000 for me around, right? But if I lose, I'm risking 10K. Nah, fuck it, take it. I'm really tired. But for fun purposes, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you where the 10K bounty is. Oh, he locked it. He locked it. Has more security than. You take the picture, okay? You take the picture. I'm not gonna take the trophy.
All right.
This was it, all the way right. That's the one. This is the one.
There you have it.
I swear, this is the one.
We'll see the adjusted numbers when they come up, but Amir will be the first place.
Let's
Amir
make sure
Soleimani
this is not 300.
and Mario Mendoza Robles will be our second place finisher.
Here, Mario, take a picture.
Damn,
with that
that
one
is
as
right.
well.
Right there.
Amir showing off that he would have picked the right
I
one.
take the trophy home, but he's gonna take a picture.
The trophy. Where is he? He told us. Well, we're gonna split anyway. Fucking.
Okay, let me grab my light. Do you mind? I want to set him up.
Before anything happens, he wants to talk to you.
You ready? Oh, you want Dave? Here he is.
We can.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Hopefully we'll see what those numbers ended up working out to be before they cut away here. Super fun mystery bounty final table, though. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. come on down to Champions Club, 6440 West Sam Houston Parkway South in Houston, Texas. As mentioned before, we're the only poker club in all of Texas that has a hotel on site. So even if you're not in Houston, you can come here and play the $1 million guaranteed main event. Stay right here on property. Beautiful hotel, just remodeled last year. Rooms are great. Food here is great. A nice lounge. And of course,
together and can I hide
great
them?
poker room,
I just don't
tons
like-
of
I don't like
action
Instagram.
coming up these next
What are you guys posting? At?
several days here for the Fall Poker Open.
I'll tell you what.
Now, Kyle fired the monster stack. You got any other ones you're planning on firing here in the next coming few days?
Looking at that Tuesday PKO, similar to the Mystery Bounty, but progressive knockout format instead.
Yeah, those are always fun ones to play. So plenty of No Limit Hold'em tournaments out there, but we also have some mixes and some special tournaments like that as well. Check Poker Atlas for the full schedule or championsclubtexas.com for all of the information. Lots of ways to win your seat into the main event. You can buy in for $1,500, or you could win a Turbo Super Satellite for $135 every morning at 10 a.m. and every evening at 10 p.m. through Friday. We'll be running those Turbo Supers. You could win your seat for as little as $135. Also, 7 o'clock tomorrow, we've got a Milestone Satellite. We've got a few more of those coming up this week. And here are your adjusted numbers. Amir taking home $25,207. And Mendoza taking home $24,093. That's not including the bounties. So you can add about another $5,000 to each of those numbers. So Amir taking home close to 30, Mendoza close to 28, somewhere right in that neighborhood. Thanks again for watching with us from Champions Club in Houston, Texas. This has been Dan Fouts with Kyle Miller saying good night.
See ya.
Play your hand, play your hand. No fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. And no fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the bags. No fuck, counting the stacks, stacking the